my beauties. How are we all? Are we well? I do hope so. I am. I'm not just alive, I'm alive and kicking. And by kicking, I mean kicking life's ass. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyway, how are you? You well? Are you doing good? I do hope so. Kev, you look biblical today. Well, thank you. I was going for the kind of march through the desert for 40 days and 40 nights type look, you know. Very Moses pilled. You could say I'm on my Noah arc. It's Noah's arc. God, I am fucking brilliant. Which is why you should give me money. Of which more in a second. But are you oiled like a baby otter? Well, not so far, no. But maybe YouTube want to change that at some point by doing is it memberships, I think, that make that noise? I don't fucking know. I've lost the will to live. Oh, honestly, no. My Noah arc. You know what? I might as well end the stream there. I think. I don't think it's going to get any better than my Noah arc. I am very, very, because I came up with that straight off the top of my head. I'd never had that thought before in the at all, ever. I'm so good at this. Oh, fucking sex. Anyway. Hello there, chap. We need to have a talk, you and I. We don't really, actually. It's not. It's fine. We're okay. What am I doing? What's that? Jezbollah. What is this nonsense? Okay, I'll have a look at that in a second. Anyway. Yes, if you wanted to, chat, you could help me out. In the form of the usual, you know, bits, subs, etc. Memberships, super chats, those sorts of things. Yes, and I would really appreciate that help. Because things are getting a bit tight at the moment. Which is not something that you need to worry about or anything. It's entirely my nonsense. I could just get a real job, you know. You don't feel pressured in any way whatsoever. But if you enjoy what I do here, if you appreciate what I do here, and you've gotten some joy, some love, some laughs, some cries, some tears, made friends along the way, and you're able to afford it, then throwing a couple of pence my way would be very appreciated. Much love to you. Anyway. Shall we get into a little bit of content? Shall we? Shall we, chatterinos? Now, we have had an update, an addendum, if you will, to my regularly featured part of this show, which is a regular public service announcement that I do. Which is that you can't say, I support Palestine action. You cannot say the words, I support Palestine action, because that's illegal. It's illegal to do that, okay? So don't do it. It's terrorism. You get up to 14 years in prison. So you'll never hear me say those words, ever. Ever, 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 because it's bad and terrible. Except, maybe not. Because it turns out, in the future, it might be possible to say I support Palestine action and for it to not be terrorism. Because the UK government, so shit as they are, have lost a court case which is going to allow the group, Palestine Action, who again, you're not allowed to say you support, because it's terrorism, to go to a full judicial review of the Home Secretary's decision to prescribe them as a terrorist group. You're such trash. Oh, the British government are so shit. They're so bad. They're fucking useless, man. I love it. This is amazing. So in the future, you might be able to say, I support Palestine action, and it might not be terrorism. But for now, you still can't say, I support Palestine action, because it would be illegal. But maybe not in the future. You dickheads.
The return of the sausages.
Not fighting super rats in the Great Thunderdome yet.
No, Dingus. Well, thank you for the bits, Dingus. But I think you've misunderstood. The rats and the humans are not at war here in Birmingham. We've taken them on as citizens. They're just regular folk now. They've gotten so big and so numerous. It's like with any incoming peoples, right? And we do see them very much as people now. They're almost as big. They're just like little people, you know. Any group of people that have come in, we've had waves of immigration, mostly human, mostly Homo sapien, but on this occasion it's cat-sized rats, and now kind of dog-sized rats, and they're just regular folk going about their business. They're not hurting anyone. So yeah, I know I'm on board with them. I see them very much as fellow Brummies. They are my brethren. My kin, poop, if you will. Thank you to Dingus with the bitty bits. Thank you to Wayward Historian for gifting a sub to use a nameless entity. We're on a hype train, so that's bits and subs, and you can help out on the hype train. If we get to level 2 of the hype train, I will finger. Who will I finger? There was one that someone mentioned the other day that we hadn't done before, or hadn't done much with. Who was it? Can anyone remember? I remember saying something like, "Oh, we should do that one next time" or something, because it was an under digitalized dead rectum. That's a fucking killer of a phrase. An under digitalized dead rectum. Fucking hell. That is a spicy formation right there. The integrity of the Labour government? Well, I mean, that's been dead a long time. Yeah. The Queen? I don't think it was the Queen, because I've definitely fingered her a lot. I have fingered the Queen, the dead Queen, a lot. You can say that. That's not terrorism. It is still terrorism to say you support Palestine action, but it's not terrorism to say I fingered the dead Queen. I mean, it would be illegal if you actually did it. Which, of course, if the police are listening, I haven't ever done that. Why would I ever do that? That's terrible. Nice try, officer. Victoria. No, it wasn't Victoria. I don't think it was the Pope. I don't... Oh, shit, I can't remember who it was. Hulk Hogan? No, no, Hulk Hogan's been done. Hulk Hogan has been thoroughly done. He wasn't even cold. Honestly, he was sort of tepid, room temperature, you know. Cat Stevens? Is he even dead? Why would I finger Cat Stevens? Isn't Cat Stevens cool? Did I miss something? He didn't get Me Too'd or something, did he? Nigel Farage wanks off dogs for cheap backkeepers. He does. I heard he bombs people for loose change. Oh, yes. Fuck yes. Thou shalt not be a melter. Oh, that's fucking epic. That is epic. I'm saving that. I'm having that fucking meme for future usage. Cat Stevens found religion and got weird. Yeah, he got weird, but not like a fascist who I need to finger weird. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not... I don't finger people for being weird, because then I'd have to finger myself, and I do that for fun. Do you know what I mean? Yusuf Islam is 77. Actually, he's not even that old then. I mean, he is old as fuck, but I thought he'd be older than that. Like, 77 is not the age of... He's an unusual age for a person to reach who, you know, grew up in the Western world with good health care and such. We didn't even fucking... Did we even agree on who we were going to finger? I can't remember. I'll finger someone, whatever. Either way, bits and subs are needed. And if we get to level 2, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do the thing we did before. I'll let the a person who does a super chat on the YouTubes decide. I think we used to do that, didn't we? Maybe, I don't know. But you have to get me to the next level for that to even be a thing that needs to be dealt with, chat. And they won't do well with Jeremy Corbyn because the media can just repeat the same stuff they did between 2017 and 2019, and they didn't win. Well, this is the thing. NWA, we'll get into it, right? But we don't need... we don't need them to win, necessarily. And especially because in the next election, they're not going to win. They're not even trying to win the election in as much as become the next government, because that's not going to be plausible. What you really want is for 10-15% of the population, or the voting population, to give them a shot, to get some MPs in Parliament and get power that way. And then it doesn't matter, you cut out the media. And given all of that's happened... in terms of people signing up for this thing. They haven't officially become paying members yet, but they've signed up for this. They're interested in this. That's massive. That's much bigger than any political party. If they got anywhere near that level of membership, they would be the biggest membership political party in British history, by quite some way. I think the biggest that the Labour Party ever got to was like 550,000, and they've got like 600,000 people signed up. Now again, they're not paying members, so it's not quite the same thing. But like I say, if those people did convert into being paying members, they'd be the biggest political party for membership ever in this country. Ever. Which means Jeremy Corbyn will have led the 2 largest political parties in terms of membership ever. Because the largest ever was Jeremy Corbyn's Labour Party in 2018 or whatever, when it clicked over 600,000, became a genuinely mass party again. And then it would be this one, which would be even bigger. Or was it 550,000? Whatever the fuck it was. It was a lot anyway. Like I say, a bit more than any other party before. So there's a population there. This is the thing. I don't think the left in Britain pretends to be the absolute majority, or even necessarily the plurality, but what it definitely is a sizable chunk of the electorate and of the population and of the taxpayers who don't get a look in. And that's what people are after. We're not even asking that we get absolutely everything we've ever wanted. Just, can we have our voices heard at all? Can we be a part of the fucking conversation? Or is it anti-Semitic to want, fucking schools that don't fall down? Anyway, what is this? That is muted. Unmute you cunt, for fuck's sake. Why is TikTok so shit?
I only do this party for you. Only do this party for you, for you, for you. I was hoping you would.
He's so old and white, it's adorable, isn't it? Talking of people who are old and white as well, Owen Jones! I only say it because I'm jealous. Like, you would think Twink Death would all have crept up on the motherfucker, and look at him. Absolutely delicious. It's very frustrating. I mean, look at me. I think I'm younger than him, and look at me. Ugh. I'm being compared to fucking Moses in the chat. Do you know what I mean? Ugh. Anyway. Yeah, the perma-twink. Hey, hello, Mixed Vivian Wolf. Everyone go and follow Mixed Vivian Wolf immediately. I saw someone suggest that you should finger Emperor Nero, and I now remember. I haven't shown you anime Nero Claudius now, have I? No, you haven't, but don't show me. Look, I don't want to be rude, but I don't fucking care to watch some weird fucking shit anime. I'm not. I don't want to, and you can't make me. Okay. Anyway, yes, he is reverse aging. Look at him. Ugh, I'm not even jealous. Shut up. So yes, he released this about an hour ago, and or 2 hours ago, whatever. I don't know. And yeah, he's talking with Jeremy Corbyn about the new party and that. Should be fun.
Could this turn British politics upside down? I'm talking, of course, about the new party, which has been launched by the former leader of the Labour Party, Jeremy Corbyn, and the former Labour MP, Zara Sultana. I'm here in Finsbury Park, this is Jeremy Corbyn's constituency, to talk to the man about what the party's all about, what it's going to do. I guess some of the attack lines against it, will this let Farage in? We're going to hear a lot of that from Labour, saying vote for us, otherwise that's what's going to happen. I want to talk about Israel's genocide, about the complicity of the British government, what it means for politics. I want to talk about quite a few things about just the state of the country, really, which is a bit of a burning skip at the moment, let's be honest. Lots to talk to him about. Let's go talk to Jeremy. Jeremy, this is really spooky because I interviewed you literally exactly 10 years ago here. It was the beginning of August 2015.
At this table?
I think it was actually this table. That was in the background.
It's changed a bit. The trees have got bigger.
Oh yeah, it's nice. It's a beautiful little park. I'm glad we're here again. It's a lovely day. I want to put your pundit hat on, or your historian hat, because in that last 10 years has been just globally a little bit of a roller coaster. So when I interviewed you, it was before Brexit. It was before.
Finsbury Park backwards is crappy rub sniff. It is. It's like when someone pointed out to me that Mugabe backwards makes him sound like a Yorkshireman. Ibagum. It does. It genuinely does.
For all the political turmoil here, Boris Johnson and Liz Truss and all that. Trump, it was before the pandemic, it was before the US defeat in Afghanistan, it was before the general rise of the far right, it was before the invasion of Ukraine, and it was before Israel's genocide. I mean,
I don't think you can say it was before Israel's genocide. It was before the most recent iteration thereof. But I would argue that Israel's genocide long predates 2015 he said? Yeah, by 70 years or something. Or 60 years, whatever, I don't fucking know.
you kind of look at it and think the world has kind of gone to shit. Do you think it has?
No. I think it's much worse now than it was 10 years ago, because you've got greater poverty and inequality in this country.
See, you've got two. I think this is the difference. The two generations of politics here. You've got the permatwink Jones saying things have gone to shit. What say you? I don't know why I'm making him sound like that. He doesn't talk like that. And then Jeremy Corbyn comes in with, well, things are much worse than we had planned them to. It's going very badly. It's actually a terrible thing. How does he stay so calm? Honestly, he's like, he's the most chill magic granddad ever. And chat, can I get some? I think I need some lavish praise for the fact that I didn't title this, and I wanted to. I was so close to doing it as well. I was going to title this Owen Jones interviews the Führer, right? And I didn't. I held back. And I genuinely think you should honour me and praise my name for that level of restraint. I showed impulse control today.
Greater inequality globally, advancing environmental problems around the world, and now, which is possibly the most serious factor, is increasing rearmament all around the world. So you've got...
Oh, Adrina, I don't know how regularly you watch me, but when I do the Hitler thing, it's a joke. It's a joke, right? Based on the idea that the media call him Hitler or say that he's like the biggest anti-Semite, blah 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 blah. And so I've taken that and taken it to the nth degree. So I literally refer to him as Adolf Hitler. I refer to him as the Führer, but that's a good thing. So, you know, I'll say like Sieg Heil or something because it's funny. That's funny to me. That's funny because it's obviously absurd, right? They've made him out to be like literally Hitler, which I suppose in this case would because Owen Jones is giving him the platform here. Would that make him literally Goebbels, the propaganda minister? I think it does. I think it makes him literally Goebbels. Twink Goebbels, Twerbles, if you will.
Global arms spending last year 2.4 trillion. This year maybe 2.7, going up and up. Every country in the world is spending more on weapons. And I don't know if you remember it, last year we produced a book called The Monstrous Anger of the Guns, which is about the profits of the arms trade. So we've got to factor that in as well. And what role are the Western countries playing to try and bring about world peace? What role is Britain playing? Well, it won't take long to answer that.
Well, we'll talk about that. The new party, which is yet to be named, we'll talk about that as well.
Have you got a suggestion?
I just keep it simple. The People's Party.
I've got a suggestion, but it's the National Socialist German Workers' Party. The NSDAP has a sort of ring to it, doesn't it? You know, and they've been successful in the past. People like a winner. Oh. The Wank Party. What the fuck is this? Comrade Griffin. Okay.
What do you reckon? I don't know. Just
Okay.
Just put it out there. Put it out. Just, you know, I think in your own time. I don't mind what it's called. If it's called Wibble, as long as it's got some good policies to address all the crises you're talking about. Why not before? I mean, the leadership. Yeah.
Thank you, Phil Decker, for 100 bits. I think I did deserve that for the restraint. I appreciate you, friend. I see you.
Took the whip off you in 2020, and then clearly just went on and on and on about how they weren't going to let you in. Why not? Why not do it before the last election?
Well, I ceased to be leader of the Labour Party in April 2020. I was suspended in October 20 from party membership, reinstated 3 weeks later unanimously by the National Executive, and then the Parliamentary Labour Party withdrew the whip from me on a basis it was going to take it away for 6 months. But it's been a long time.
A little bit.
You know what they should call it? Mario Party. Kids love it.
It took longer. I obviously took a lot of soundings locally on what I should do. The Labour Party members wanted me to remain as their MP and to carry on fighting it. And so I took the view that I would
Lemon Party
fight
also
it right
works.
up to the end.
Yes.
And if the Labour Party did what it eventually did, I would then run as an independent. And I did that. I also felt that winning here was very, very important. And I was under a lot of pressure from good comrades and good friends saying, look, Jeremy, form a new party now. This would be 21, 22.
Yeah.
And then you'll be ready for the election in what the guess would be 24, 25, obviously. I didn't do that for a number of reasons. One was, had I done that, I would have had to spend 2 years doing a lot of travelling around to get the new party going, to get it underway, to get it organised and so on.
See, okay, I think he makes a point there, right? He's going to fight an actual general election against all of the odds, against the the bureaucracy of the Labour Party and all of the money they were going to pour into it and all the rest of it. So I get that. But that doesn't mean that you couldn't have had the sort of thing ready to go so you could launch it after the election. Because, like, it wasn't just you. There were these independent MPs who I presume are going to be some part of this party, right? Certainly, like, Zara Sultana is a part of this, but I think presumably some of the pro-Palestine independent candidates will probably join in. So, like, why didn't you have this ready to go a year ago? Like, yes, you couldn't necessarily start the party before the election because you had to fight the election.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Oh, suck a dick. But why didn't you have this ready to go a year ago? Why? I do hope he explains. I do hope he gets questioned by the perma-twink. Twerbles. Which, if you missed that joke a minute ago, you missed out. Okay? You missed out. Thank you, Cameron Reese, who says, the Luigi Party. That also works, but might also be a terrorism. As previously mentioned, you can't say you support Palestine Action, because that would be terrorism. And if you say you support Luigi, technically he hasn't been convicted yet, so you probably can still say it. But, like, actually, even after he gets convicted, you can still say you support him. But would he? Can you prescribe an individual as a terrorist? That's an interesting one, because this is organisational, right? They're saying the organisation is terrorist, but not necessarily that the people, each individual member, is a terrorist. So, like, could you say, I support X person who is, like, a member of a group? Like, could you say, like, you can't say you support Al-Qaeda, because that's a banned terrorist group. But could you say, I support Bin Laden? Now, obviously, I don't support Bin Laden. He was a cunt. Fuck him. But, like, could you do that? Can they prescribe people rather than just organisations? Because then you could come out and say you support X, Y, and Z people who are from, let's say, a terrorist group, couldn't you? You could say that, let's just take a random terrorist group at just completely random, Palestine Action, for instance, right? You could say that you supported, members and leaders of that group. Because they're not officially terrorists, are they? But you couldn't say you supported Palestine Action unless the thing is successful, the judicial review. Which would be very, very funny. I just want to say now, right? I have no idea whether they've got any real chance or not, but it would be exceptionally funny if the British government lost and had to unprescribe Palestine Action. Especially because I would basically do an hour of me just saying one sentence. I won't say what that sentence is, because that would be terrorism. But I would just... it would just be me just repeating that line on a fucking loop for hours. Because I'd be allowed to do it then. It would be legal, it'd be fine. Because it wouldn't even be terrorism. Luigi is hotter than Owen, just putting that out there. I mean, yeah, but like, if Owen throws himself at you, you're not saying no, are you? Like, Luigi's hotter, but Owen is a very nice silver medal. Let's put it that way. Can you do that sentence in a crab suit? I assume naturally it would... Look, I'm sorry if I've misinterpreted this, chat. I assumed you all knew that I'd be saying that sentence dressed as a crab. I didn't mention it because I thought, well, everyone's going to assume that I'm going to be in the crab costume, obviously. One of the greatest crabathons ever. Naturally. I thought it went without saying.
Which would not have played well in the local community. And so I did what I've always done, represented the constituency and carried on doing that. And then when the election came in 24, we said, okay, you've done your worst. We'll let the people decide who the MP should be. This is after Starmer had put...
Oh, he's mentioned the devil. Yes, Anjem Chowdhury, a prominent Islamist extremist and leader of Al-Mujahideen, convicted in 2016 for inviting support for ISIS. Abu Qatada, a Jordanian cleric, blah, 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 blah. So, yes, you can, apparently. You can prescribe individuals. Well, I don't subscribe. I don't like any of the people who have been prescribed. I only support people who are not terrorism. Okay.
Put a resolution through the LEC saying I wasn't fit to be a public representative of the Labour Party, which was, I think, probably unprecedented in Labour Party history. Yeah. That a former leader is deemed to be unfit to represent the party, a party I've been in since I was 16.
And it's especially galling when another previous leader of the Labour Party is a fucking war criminal. Literally a fucking war criminal piece of shit who's currently pushing AI for the Saudis, and his organisation might be trying to plan a cheeky little ethnic cleansing in the Gaza Strip. But apparently he, Tony Blair, Anthony motherfucking Blair, apparently is fine to represent the Labour Party. Oh, he's just fucking dandy. War crimes good, socialism bad, is official Labour Party policy now. Brilliant. Wonderful.
And so we ran as an independent. We got amazing levels of support locally and outside. And what I noticed was the people who came to help, yes, many were friends and so on that I'd known for many years. A lot of local people came and helped. And I'd sort of didn't know them well, but knew them vaguely. I said, it's really nice to come and help. I've never seen you help in elections before. I said, no, I can never help the Labour Party, but I'll help you. So we brought in a new demographic, and then
or as I'm calling it now, the Mamdani effect. Because Mamdani got support from people who fucking hate Democrats. But he got the Democratic nomination because people wanted to work for and vote for him. Including, as the numbers are borne out now, the majority of Jewish New Yorkers. Even with all of the bullshit of like, oh, he's an anti-Semite because he doesn't like the actions of the Israeli government, and he isn't going to like go on holiday to fucking Israel and suck the president of Israel's cock. He's going to stay in New York and serve the people that were voted for him to be the mayor of New York. Crazy, right? And even then, most Jewish New Yorkers went, yeah, no, we want to vote for him, please. He's got good policies and isn't an anti-Semite. Crazy that, isn't it? When you offer people good policy that they actually want, they might vote for you. Whoa! It's like we're discovering democracy all of a sudden.
I figured that after we'd proved we could do it, and we won with a good vote, and the other independents were elected too. I didn't know them in advance, and it was kind of weird. The first day we were in Parliament, I invited them to come to my office. So they all came and they sat round this big round table I got in the office. And they, I'm not sure they knew each other so well either. They said this is like being called to the head teacher's study. So we sat down and poured out cups of tea all round.
Okay, like it's... I don't want to be that guy. But when you're sort of doing a nervous giggle along to the guy telling you the anecdote, this doesn't seem like journalism at this point.
Mamdani died in prison. You can't fool me with your Mamdani effect.
You cunt. I just got... I saw that pop up and I was like... And then as soon as the voiceover hit, I was like, oh, you fucker. Absolutely done me. Stitched me right up. Mamdani effect. Oh, that's very good. If you don't get that joke, don't bother looking into it. you misremembered it anyway.
We'll have a chat, and we all come from different backgrounds, different political paths, and so on. And we made a pact. We said, okay, we're going to work together. Where we agree, we'll work together. Where we don't agree, we'll say no more about it. We'll just park that and move on. And so it's worked, and it's been actually a really pleasant experience. And then the issue then was forming a new party. We discussed it for quite a while, ideas, structures, and so on. And eventually we announced what is a week ago today. And as of this moment, which is 1 hour and 18 minutes short of when we announced, it's now just past 600,000 people registered.
Do you think that surpassed what you expected?
Oh, way above. Yeah, way above.
That's really significant, right? Like I say, if they got that many members, it would be the biggest party in British history. Now, of course, you've got to factor in that it's a bigger population now, but it's not like so much more of a big population than it was in 2015. You know what I mean? Like, that's really fucking good. That is an exceptionally impressive start, and shows that there's support there. Even with, I don't have the alert for any of those things. I don't give a duck. You can just do bits, or there's a what is there? There's a PayPal if you want to just give a one-off thing. I don't know, but I don't have those things. I'm sorry. 600,000 would be more than Labour plus Reform. Well, it would be, but we don't know by how much, because the Labour Party are so embarrassed by how many people have left that party, they don't even publish their numbers anymore. Do you know what I mean? Wouldn't that be the second time that Jezza has beaten his own political party record? Yes, it would, Phantom of Black. Yes, it motherfucking would. Jean-Luc Mélenchon wipes the floor with him, though. True, but doesn't France have a bigger population? I think. Still, I mean, I think he still just have many more members, but yeah. No, that's fair enough. Mélenchon's better as well, I think, from what I remember of his politics. Mixed Vivian Wolf says, hey, yeah, but they got to get actual members before I get excited. It definitely has the potential to be a quagmire of meetings about votes about party democratic processes. Well, that's the thing. That's why I don't think Corbyn should be involved in the kind of bureaucracy of this. He should just stick to being the face of it and like kind of the voice of it, as sort of uncharismatic as he can be, of course. But he still has like brand recognition. So that's important. But he is a bit like, you do feel like he's sort of at home in a meeting where he gets to like, oh, we've reached quorum, so we can take an official vote on the function of the Central Committee's plan for such and such. You know what I mean? He's one of those people. His interview with Navarro is worth a watch. If you've got a link, Andrea, I'm more than happy to have a look. The anti-briefcase party. Let's go. Now we're fucking cooking.
I was thinking 200,000 to begin with, possibly, but this is now larger than the largest Labour Party membership ever, which was 600,000 when I stepped down.
We don't know how low the Labour membership's fallen to either, do they? Because they were figures.
So that's a secret. That's a secret. Even the Communist Party, the Soviet Union, used to publish membership figures.
Maybe slightly more democratic than this party, probably, the Labour Party.
You're worse than Stalin, mate. Love it.
They had a very centralised way of doing things.
When you stood, I mean, because I was, out and about with you during that campaign, and
which campaign? The 15 leadership? Or
the general election in Islington North last year.
Last 24, yeah.
Well, this is the thing, John the Brazen. You talk about him being like fading into the background. You've got to bear in mind a lot of this is leadership based, right? you've got to bear in mind that a lot of it's down to the name brand recognition of Jeremy Corbyn's doing a thing. Because like Zara Sultana brings a certain cachet with her. The fact that they have other parliamentarians potentially getting involved is cool. But you also like have the fact that it's Jeremy Corbyn. He's a stiff dick of poop. And a stiff dick of poop. Obviously. It's Jeremy Corbyn that has a lot to do with this. And its immediate success. Or at least, I say success, like as Mix Vivian Wolf says, they've got to become members for it to be like a real thing. But like the potential that this could get off the ground as quickly and as successfully as it might do is down in large part to the fact that Jeremy Corbyn brings eyes. The media have essentially sort of Streisand affected him into a position of political authority that he should never really have had. By which I mean, like, naturally he'd just stayed a backbencher if the Labour Party had chosen any reasonably viable centre-left candidate. And he would have just been sort of forgotten, really, as a Labour Party backbencher for his entire career. And now they've turned him into Mecha Hitler. And so when he does things, people listen. People look at it. It gets publicity. And when you're trying to get the message out about a thing, publicity is arguably as important as anything else, because you need people to at least listen to you to have any chance of convincing them that you've got good policy or that you're worth supporting, you know. So without being too great man of history fucking sort of thing, it is important, I think, that he's a part of this. Thank you, Owen Historian, for gifting a sub to Sister Rose. And also, oi oi, Sister Rose, how are you? It's been a hot minute. What have you been up to? Everyone go and follow Sister Rose on all of the available platforms.
And it's interesting because actually people often don't realise that it's extremely hard to win as an independent. It's happened very rarely in a competitive general election since World War II. In fact, there's only 3 other times out where
S.O. Davis.
in the 70s, yeah.
Yeah, and there was
Where
Kidderminster.
but that was in Canada. A party stood
Oh,
down.
sorry, there was bits. Sorry. Yeah, it didn't make a noise. Do you need a VPN? This motherfucker has a VPN going spare. I don't need a VPN. Thank you very much, my historian.
Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
Jordan Peterson's take on 20 guys. Takes on 20 guys. Oh, you've done another YouTube poop. Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, no, we'll take a break from this.
Danny. I haven't deep asked.
This is Sister Rose's YouTube poop of Jordan Peterson talking shite.
Say things.
I haven't claimed that.
You're a Christian.
I don't be smart.
You're not.
You are.
Aren't I? But you're really not.
Dun.
You don't know where you are right now.
I don't know.
You know nothing.
Sure.
Are you familiar with Mary over?
Somewhat.
All right. Are you familiar with Mary? How do you regard Mary?
Attend quite a ways up the hierarchy. Put her in the highest
But you would
place.
put Mary over.
Why are you asking me that?
Because you do.
Not at the top. It's for.
Okay, that's it.
No, I didn't say that.
Whatever.
Flesh.
Fit that in within, but
Yes.
you're saying a.
Yes.
Okay. So.
I have a very deep ass, but that'll do for the time we have.
Okay.
Hello there. I'm Dr. Georgerson. I'm a clinical psychologist at the University of Podcaster, an author, speaker.
Just a pop, notice me.
And today I'm surrounded by 25 gods. My first claim, atheists don't stand. Atheists don't God. Stand.
I don't stand, and I don't God. He's correct.
Good afternoon, Dr. Peterson.
How you doing?
Good afternoon. So this claim here that my background is in studying to come deep into the priests. Give me a claim here,
I've studied to come deep in priests as well. It's a very technical operation.
God.
Magisterium and biblical nudist, like I was thoroughly in Herman. It seems like I do know. Is there something that I missed over years?
I don't know. Huh?
Then it seems kind of like this Scotsman.
Say Scotsman, he appears. Scotland. Scotland, and Scotland, and Scotland, and Scotland, and Scotland, and Scotland, and Scotland, Scotland, man, the love of Scotland.
That people
I don't get that reference. What the fuck was that? Okay. I mean, I'm okay with a henchman going on about, you know, Scotland or whatever. It's a popular meme video, is it? I'm exceptionally old. You've got to bear that in mind. I am unfathomably aged.
don't know something that you don't know, you know about people that you know, of something that you don't know about their life despite not having met them.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not claiming to understand your mind, but and being hurt by a simple was religious, simple old man's, or perhaps by God himself.
But I think that you have a Raskolnikov type of.
Well, let's start with your.
It also seems like you don't believe in
Joe Hendry.
It's certainly not the case that I regard any archetypal man whatsoever as. Let me give you an example. For example, there's a sub, and that's one of the ways that Moses is characterized in the Old Testament stories.
Yes.
At least that's the story.
One part.
Obviously.
Okay, we're taking a detour from the detour. We'll get back to that in a second. Jordan Peterson versus 20 Kermits.
Today I'm surrounded by 20 Kermit the Frogs.
Do you believe you are Jordan Peterson?
What do you mean by believe?
I don't know if you're copying my voice or what.
That's the circular definition.
That's the circular definition.
You stake your life.
You stake your life on it.
And you die.
And you die for it. I feel like I'm talking to myself here.
How much do you know about me?
Hypothetically, if you were born Jordan Peterson, but you talked like Kermit the Frog, that would just make you a human with a frog voice.
You're generating an impossible, restricted, hypothetical, with no precursors to back me into.
I can't tell them apart. You like eating red meat, right?
Sure.
And what do Jordan Petersons love eating more than anything else?
Why are you asking me?
Because you are Jordan Peterson.
You say that. I haven't claimed that.
Is this Jordan Peterson versus Kermit the Frogs?
Don't be a smartass.
Either you're Jordan Peterson or you're not. Which is it?
You're really quite something.
That's because you're Jordan Peterson, you're not a frog.
Yeah, I'm done with him.
I respect Dr. Peterson, but I think he's losing it.
Croak, croak, ribbit, ribbit.
I agree.
Obviously.
When
we look at the Bible can't be this big, and it seems like you can.
So your claim essentially is that Moses in the Old Testament role plays in the sky.
I want to get to the love.
And when God walks by, he allows him to see his crack, regardless of your inability to perceive or even withstand perceiving the whole.
Honestly, seeing the crack of God, is that like a euphemism for like knowledge? Like when Newton talked about the apple hitting him on the head as a euphemism for understanding. Is that it? Like, I have looked into the rectum of God. I stared into the abyss, and the abyss stared back.
So this example of what's
a possible one.
I didn't say the. I said
That
right.
is possible, yes.
Okay. Then I can't speak with you. Do you have a problem?
Let's pause there. Sorry, you've been voted out.
Hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Good to see you.
Tell me everything that you know.
I don't know anything.
So you're without knowledge.
I don't know anything.
Do you believe in the...
Hamas will never win over the defenders of the West. I'm sorry, are you the defenders of the West, or are you Semitic peoples of the Levant? Because you can't really be defenders of the West if you're also, like, native Asians. That doesn't make any fucking sense, my brother. Come on now. When the Hasbro people send their folks, they're not sending their best. A great many of them are probably rapists, let's be honest.
Existence of thing? Do you do
I'll answer that question once you answer my question, which is, do I perceive whole? Do you think that everyone in the world insists?
I think in order for your
answer
argument
that question
beyond me, yourself,
valid and true.
We have someone over here who studied Muslims in their own way.
They're more religious than they think they are.
I've studied Muslims and I have a degree in studies. My question is quite simple.
I'm not going to answer that question for reasons.
Aha!
Hi, nice to meet you. Good, how
What's
are you?
your name?
I'm Greg.
Hey, Greg.
Nice to meet you.
Greg.
Okay, so I feel like you're getting at this idea of this, and when I was away, if I said I believe the Mona Lisa is coming, I find that interesting. I think that when we use words...
Honestly, she could do with coming, I think. She looks a bit tense. Just bust a nut and she'd be alright, I reckon.
Words, you don't really understand what you're saying, but the idea of words...
Things?
Could you explain that question?
Well, scientists, for example, believe that science... Do you... Yes?
I think that, I know that, for example, like in physics, people are looking for like a physics. Could you help me connect that to the Mona Lisa?
Imagination. And here's another question for you. What do you...
Can we go back? Can we stay on what we were talking about?
We are.
What do you?
Okay.
You're just uncomfortable with the question.
No, I feel like you're just kind of throwing different spaghetti at the wall.
I'm not.
That's his entire career. Look at the maps of meaning stuff. Look at those drawings and the fucking dragon of chaos. It's just words. It's just babble. Honestly, I've never seen a person put so much shit into the world that had no substance to it whatsoever. His production of stuff to amount of content in that stuff is like the worst ratio of any human being ever.
No,
God,
I'm not.
it's nailed to the wall. I would say that you're the one who doesn't understand. It's nailed.
Yes.
So, and what are you getting at?
Old man.
I am driving down the highway. There's a kitten in the road. I'm going to empathetically feel, oh my God, I want to save the kitten. Could you help me save the kitten?
God, no.
When I get hit by a car.
My next claim is that science cannot be found within Tokyo.
Canada.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
What's
How are
your
you?
name?
Brian. I think it's interesting that you cite us as actually.
No.
Sure. Whatever. Do.
I
right?
agree, but
sure.
you pointed to cheese.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't derive that from science.
It's actually.
No, I'm not retreating at all. I'm advancing, sir. You are retreating.
I guess as an agnostic atheist, I guess
How is that relevant to this claim?
typical Christians would.
What typical Christians?
Yeah, typical.
Cardinal Newman, who defined God as conscious. How about that?
Sure. So do you believe?
What do you mean by believe?
Do you think it to be true?
Not really.
There's like Jewish people in your attic.
I wouldn't be in that scenario.
Would you lie to like save your children?
Lying
No,
would say
there wouldn't be Jewish people in his attic. He'd have ratted out Anne Frank straight away.
in Tokyo that make Tokyo an unstoppable force.
Okay, so
You're doing exactly what I said you were doing at the beginning of the conversation. Leave. I'm going to show you something from Pinocchio.
Ben Shapiro.
Disintegration.
Approximately 13 BC. God, Jewish. He spoke from the smoke. He spoke and the sound of the shofar, and he declared
Honestly, his yarmulke is getting bigger. His yarmulke is just generally, it's. I mean, ironically, given that he's a Zionist, his yarmulke is illegally encroaching on land that is not his. It is occupying other follicle land. It has taken over the west bank of this man's scalp. From the ear to the ear, his scalp will be free, okay?
Finally.
You just destroy the entire system. Which is what he's a marionette.
The bottom is God. Yeah. And there can be multiple bottoms. They're each valid in this. Yeah.
Valid. So far, so good. But it depends on what you mean by good. So if you put, for example, in Tokyo, up your last, you end up in hell. It's not a figment of your imagination, and an indefinite, terrible, blood-soaked, saturated something at the bottom. Spin just for me now? Does that represent something you'd actually like?
Yes.
Hello there. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's your name?
I'm Kumari.
Disagree with that, but
Yeah.
that doesn't have anything to do with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a tough one, right? I mean, see, it's what puts you in hell, right?
What? Oh, you think he's shrinking? So it's the same size yarmulke, it's just his head is like, it's the moisture is being sucked out, so his head's shrinking. So it just looks like it's getting bigger. You know what? The pieces of the puzzle are starting to fit together. Makes a lot of sense. That's science right there.
And so then you might ask, well,
He's just desiccating slowly. He's going to turn into a little gremlin with a massive yarmulke on. It's going to look like a bit one of those, old-timey Chinese hats. It's just going to be fucking huge. It's going to be like he's wearing an umbrella.
how do you know you're in hell? Ha, greedy chimp.
Can I ask?
Well, terrible things can come your way. Your life will be ridden with anxiety. Your life will be pointless.
And what
People,
if-
did you play a part in that?
In my own suffering?
Yeah.
What if I believe that they're fixable?
I don't like talking to women. Harmony.
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 So what makes one kind of foundational tenet better than another one?
That's an excellent question. Impressive.
What does better mean?
That's a good question.
Yes.
Something that would be benefit to both of us. Probably the deepest hallmark of better is gain. Very good.
There's a lot of ass. There's a lot of ass in this video. I mean, I'm not complaining, I'm just saying. There is a lot of ass in this video.
Thank you so much.
Very good.
Jordan Peterson, I credit to blasting me into an atheist.
Dominance.
And finally,
Faceless entities who are transforming all the pleasure-seeking marionettes. And another problem that faces Pinocchio is that he's offered false celebrity as a way of solving his life's problems. So he's offered the opportunity to become an actor. And what that means is a deceitful fake who's constructed a persona
So
that
he
makes
wasn't
him
just
appear
calm.
far more valuable than he really is. So
Anyway, I'll give you Sister Rose's link. Or linky dink. They're the one that did the Spanky Tanky thing. YouTube poop is the word I was looking for. I'll post that in both of the channels. Thank you, Sister Rose, for making us aware of a very important hench Scottish man. Now back to this unimportant tripe.
Him. Well,
See what I did? I'm a fool.
oh yeah, thing. Where the party stands down, because again, there's Tatum Hatton doesn't count either, because the Labour Party stood down for him.
Yeah. Yeah, they certainly didn't stand down.
No, they certainly did not. They threw everything at you, and also people also forget, because people think, well, you've got people, you do have very loyal voters been there all their lives, but there's a huge turnover of people all the time because of the party runs it out. But what can you extrapolate from that? Because that a lot of pundits, some pundits will say, oh well, you'll get 5%, and you ended up getting a huge majority. So what's the lesson from that?
The lesson of that is two things. One is that...
Thank you, Dingus, with the bitty bits. I won't play that YouTube poop, but I'll just say this. Michael Rosen liked one of my tweets. I'm famous. I'm just saying I'm famous.
We, and I say not just me, we have been very involved with everything to do with the community for the past 40 years. In every aspect, community centres, housing estates.
Hey, hello Turn Left, how are you? Everyone go and follow Turn Left on YouTube, and fuck it, do it on Twitch, even though they don't stream here. Just follow them. It would be fun for me.
And so everything, all the time. And I've never neglected a constituency. Never, ever. I spend my time doing stuff in the constituency, and I love it. I love the area. I know so many people there, which makes a difference. But it's not that alone. It was, people felt that Labour were not offering them anything in the general election. They knew what I was offering.
Michael Rosen's incredibly based. He's the former children's poet laureate or some shit? Anyway, and he's like a British Jewish man who's very, very anti-Israel, or Israeli government anyway, and the IDF. He's exceptionally based, yeah. I don't know about his politics beyond that, and it sort of doesn't matter. I don't care. If at least you can get this one right, I can be your comrade, at least. I can stand with you, you know? You're not a fucking monster. I don't want to look along the line of my friends and one of them's like, actually, genocide's awesome. That's not happening, okay? It's not fucking happening. There is a famous guy who used... Yeah, exactly. The Jeslington, the Führer himself, used to follow me on my original first ever Twitter account. Or should I say, presumably the intern / assistant person who ran that account, because he definitely fucking didn't. Look at him. He doesn't know how to turn on a fucking phone, let alone a computer. They followed me. And that was fucking awesome, because he then became Labour leader. And I was like, shit, imagine if he became Prime Minister, saying, like, the Prime Minister fucking follows me on Twitter. That'd be amazing. But then I got that shut down because I told some Nazis to not exist anymore. To unexist themselves. And Twitter didn't like it.
Oiled like a baby otter.
They could be oiled like a baby otter. I left that option open to them. Thank you to Suganamadik for for being a member and for gifting a membership to someone. No, hang on. They became a member, yes, and then they sent one to Baker's doesn't. Sorry, they do it the wrong way round. I don't know why. Anyway, you told some Nazis to follow their leader's lead. I did indeed do that, and He's 76. Good God. Good God, y'all. I like the fact that the Turn Left account is saying hello individually to every single person
like a baby otter.
who said something to them. That's lovely. I don't know who's on that account, whether it's Curtis or one of the other people on the work for Turn Left, but hello there to whoever you are. God bless you. Thank you, Tess, for gifting a membership. Much love to you. Much flipping loverino. Oh, that was not meant to happen.
They knew what my beliefs are, principles are, and they responded to it, which I think was, if you look at it objectively, quite remarkable when they'd been told for years by the mainstream media that I was the devil incarnate. I was Satan on two legs. I've got horns coming out here. I've got a big moustache out here, and I'll probably carry a wand or something, you know. And so...
No, the media made you into Hitler. We've already been through this. We've already been fucking through this shit. They made you Hitler. Deal with it.
Sometimes people would come to the door who had very recently moved into the area who didn't know me. Yeah, because, oh, Mr. Corbyn, we know all about you. I'd say, so what do you know about me? They said, we've heard a lot of bad things about me. I said, well, let's discuss
like a
it.
baby otter.
And then you go into a discussion with people. And it was lovely. And so we spent a lot of time, and also we made the campaign fun. Well, you remember it.
Yeah, the Mail did literally make him into a vampire, and they said they had to stick a stake through the heart.
Oiled like a baby otter.
But apparently that's bad or something. When it's other people, it's violence and terrible when it's a right winger. But if it's a left winger, you can just say, yeah, I want to stick a stake through this person's heart. That's absolutely fine. Because they're not really people, leftists, you'll notice. Thank you to Suganabadik with 5 memberships. You've been very generous. You know what? I may just take you up on your name. Because you've been very, very kind. And I like to repay kindness with head.
Okay. It was open air rallies, always had music, poetry, entertainment, and what was great was I was slightly nervous.
He's so old, I love it. We have the time of our lives. We have it large with poetry readings. Oh, bless him. I love poetry. I'm not having a go. I'm just saying it's like that's some 1920 shit. We've got a reading of poetry now at the socialist meeting.
It was about holding canvassing rallies in the middle of a housing estate because you think, oh, Sunday afternoon, is it a good idea? And my team were very enthusiastic and very loud. I said, well, I'm kind of conscious of people's lives. And I said, are you really sure about this? They said, no, it'll be fine. I said, all right, we'll give it a go. So we went down to 6 Acres Estate, got the loudspeaker up, and a big crowd assembled, and then we had several speeches and a bit of music. And then
poetry.
I saw the windows opening all round. They were, oh God, here it goes. There's going to be complaints in a minute. Somebody's going, no, people came down and joined in. The rally was twice the size at the end it had been at the beginning. People wanted that style of politics, and that's what we're doing. It's great.
It's called Your Party. I mean, sorry, it's not called Your Party. That's the holding name, basically. Just
Yourparty.uk.
Exactly. And there's been, I mean, a lot of the media response was just to sneer at that rather than engage with what it seemed to do. Just explain why Your Party? Why use that as the beginning?
Me and a few friends have been discussing various names. We've tried various things about Party of Peace, Party of Justice, People's Party, which you suggested, and a lot of other names. And I said, look, let's just have a holding name. And let's call it yourparty.uk. And then when we have our founding conference, which will be later this year,
No, Jeremy Corbyn won't kill those puppies because those puppies are Hamas. Those were anti-Semitic dogs.
in November time, and we'll decide on a name. It may even be that name. But you know what? The idea you join a party without a name in order to choose the name is not a bad thing. It's democracy in action. And people are going to come up with some mad zany.
Oh, that's it. But you know what? We can shrink that down. Don't call it the Magic Grandpa Party. You've already got the par. Call it the Magic Grand Party. We're cooking on gas tonight, people.
Zany
Jam-ass. That works.
We could end up with sort of both.
Jam-ass works. Jezbollah. Absolutely lovely. I'm trying to think of, is there something we can do with Palestine Action? Well, obviously you can't say you support it, but is there a pun that we can do? Palestine Faction? They should call it Palestine Faction. That would be amazing. Oh God, that's so dumb. Helena suggested the 99%. The 99%. It's not snappy, is it? I know what she's going for there, but I'm not sure that really works.
Party or something, but
sign me up for that.
You like that, would you?
I think why not? I mean, let's just, I mean, it's a little bit 2018 probably. Labour originally was the Labour Representation Committee for several years before it became the Labour.
Well, the other idea I had was that we'd call it the Interim Committee for the Development of a meaningful understanding of social change and the need for justice and inequality that's peaceful and sustainable.
That's all.
So that'll fill up the whole ballot paper, wouldn't it? When you're ready, you think
I think so. You wouldn't be able to miss it. Back to you then. So, I mean,
Well, turn left. I already suggested one, which was the National Socialist German Workers' Party, because I don't think it's being used right now. I think it's got to be out of copyright now, surely, like Steamboat Willie or something, What's this? What are you sending me? Cross question with, oh my God, Jonathan Gullis. Oh no. Yeah, the National Socialist German Workers' Party, right? It's not in copyright anymore. No one's using it, so nice and easy. And has a history of winning, doesn't it? And everyone likes a winner. I'm telling you, it makes sense. It makes sense. And if there's one thing people in Britain love, it's German stuff.
So how's democracy going to work in this party? Because democracy, you've always talked about that, democratising the Labour Party. Now you've got a new party altogether, so you can just start from scratch. What does it mean?
Good point. This is an interesting issue, an interesting conundrum. We've formed this party with the name it's got. I'm very conscious that there are lots of independent groups around the country, independent groups of councillors,
Unity works.
Party activists.
Unity works, yeah.
Many, all the way from Brighton to Barrow and all over, they're everywhere. There's also People's Assembly and many other groups around. Many of those have signed up for our party, but not all. we're not going to get involved in a turf war about who's numero uno in Birmingham, who's numero uno in
Whoa, there's only one numero uno in Birmingham. You're looking at him. Moving on.
So now, we're going to work out a way of doing it so it will end up with being some kind of federal nature, and trade union involvement will be an important part of it. I'm not expecting national unions to sign up for it straight away, but I've had conversations with a lot of union leaders at the Durham Miners Gala and since, and we will therefore have that in.
Okay, the People's Unity Party, or PUP for short, because who doesn't like puppies? God, I'm a genius.
Inclusive nature to it. The demographic, which is obviously broad, with 600,000 people in support, it's got to be very, very broad indeed. That has to be reflected in the structure. What I don't want is endless battles over who's controlling which committee.
How do you know about Spark Hill, Sister Rose? You can't know Birmingham places. That's not allowed. No, stop. No. No one from outside of Birmingham knows anything about Birmingham, so you can't be like mentioning places. That's not allowed. We don't like outsiders. Are you local? I'd make a fantastic Tubbs. I'm just saying.
The way you keep a party together is by going forward on campaigning. Fundamental issues, peace, fundamental issue, social justice in this country, fundamental issue, environmental.
Oh, you're from Spark Hill. Have I got an exponential number of Brummies in my fucking chat? Do you flock to me? I'm like the shittest bat signal ever.
Sustainability, fundamental issue,
the Brum signal,
protecting human rights and opposing the far right, because the other parties, all of them.
Oh, was Citizen Khan based in Spark Hill? Oh, okay, well there you go. It is. I mean, it is a very Asian area, or Asian descended. You know what I mean? It's. You know. I'm from Stone. You are from Stone 255, yes. Why is it called Spark Hill? I have no idea. Why is any place called something? I have no idea. You sound like home. I live in Brighton. Ah. Yeah, Ozzy had his send-off, don't I? Quite a crowd turned out. You forget, because like he hasn't really been making music for a long time. Yeah, he's a well sort of thought of person. It was a scrapped Sonic the Hedgehog zone, the Spark Hills. It's on a hill. I imagine it was a hill. Was there a match factory there? That would make sense. I don't know, but that would make sense.
Are actually appeasing what reforms say. They join in this rhetoric, Ireland are strangers, etc., happening all over Europe. We're not doing that. We're the very opposite. I'm supporting a demonstration which is going on this weekend to defending people living in an asylum hotel. And you'll probably remember the first thing I did when I was elected leader of the Labour Party, against a lot of advice I received, was to go and speak at a Refugees Are Welcome rally, because I wanted to put it out there. We're not joining in this tide of hate against people who've been victims of hate themselves.
Imagine that. Imagine having a Labour Party leader who said, actually, no, we're not going to do racism. It might not be the most popular thing in the world, but we're not going to do the racism, actually. We're going to be pro-migrant because they're human beings. Imagine such a thing ever happening. In the Middle Ages, the Spark family farmed in the area, although it can be posited that Spark Hill takes its name from Spark Brook, a small stream that flows from Moseley to the River Cole in Small Heath. Fair enough. Small Heath is where the Birmingham City Football Club ground is. So it's a place I go to often.
You mentioned...
Was Ozzy a massive Zionist? Or was it just his missus and he was doing it for an easy life? Who knows?
Labour there echoing Enoch Powell and Nigel Farage. Is this Labour government worse than you would have expected?
Yes, much worse than I expected. I didn't have high expectations of it. The manifesto was insipid, weak, unmemorable. I ask anybody what was in the manifesto, they go, no, they can very seldom name anything, but possibly they'll remember breakfast clubs. Oh yeah, possibly, that's about it. I'm not saying breakfast clubs aren't valuable, they are, but they're not the only thing. So
Oh, there
what
were a fair
they've
few
done is
promises in
what?
there. Okay.
Minor reforms in terms of rights of renters, slightly greater protection, but no rent control. Some improvement in workers' rights, but no sectoral bargaining, and so on, all the way through. And then rolling back against the environmental agenda, actively pursuing an increase in arms expenditure rather than promoting this. I'm not pretending the world's simple or easy out there, but if you have an agenda to go to war, as Starmer and Healey appear to do, then what do? You spend more and more money on weapons. And Liz Kendall gets up in Parliament saying she wants to take $5 billion out of the DWP budget, which is earmarked for personal independence payments, and Starmer wants to put $13 billion more into the arms budget. What are we about as a country? Are we going to starve?
The only thing that I remember was the bit about his dad being a toolmaker. I think he did put that in the manifesto as well, didn't he? He said it every other fucking thing, so you might as well have.
People with disabilities in order to buy more planes from the USA, because that's what it looks like.
I mean, speaking the way you speak.
Unfortunately, yes, that is what's going to happen, and that is the country we are. Sadly, Jezza, yes. 'Tis unfortunate, but 'tis so.
Thinking about this, I mean, because you were a Labour MP under Tony Blair, do you think it's worse?
Well, Tony Blair and I were never close.
Yeah, I'd say like buddies, close buddy. You were doing your camping trips together.
No, we didn't do any camping trips together. I don't think Tony Blair is kind of into camping somehow.
Manchester with Berlusconi at the time, I think.
I think he was more into the Berlusconi side of holidays. The Blair government of 97 was a kind of interesting conundrum. I remember I think it was September 97, there was the vote on the single parent benefit. You remember it? And a number of us voted.
Look, hang on. He's just nodded along to that, but like Owen Morgan, fuck's sake. Owen Jones is 40. So in 1997, he'd have been, I don't even know, 12 or something? 10? No, because that would be 87. Yeah, he'd be about 12 or 13 years old. So I'm not sure he would remember that, actually. I'm not sure he would remember that. Is Jez still bumming Thornbury? I don't think so. Although he might still be high-fiving her tit. We've got to play it. It is funny. Like, I know I don't want to be that guy, but it is funny. Corbyn tit high five. Oh no! He goes in for the high five. Tit slap. Oh, it's bad. And then they both have to pretend like he didn't just slap her tit. Oh, he did slap that titty. He did. He palmed her booba.
Against it. And I remember going into the no lobby to vote, and as I got in there, Nick Brown is there, the chief whip. I said, Nick, this is remarkable, a chief whip rebelling against the government. He said, Jeremy, please, I'm not quite going that far, but I'm here to assure you that tomorrow there will still be a Labour Party, and tomorrow you will still be part of that Labour Party, because I respect what you're doing.
He did the accent as well. Amazing.
Really?
That was chief whip.
I want to see him do like a Geordie accent. It's outrageous, man.
Interested.
Now, did he do that on his own, or did he do that with Blair's blessing? I don't know. But
And they would have known his style.
They would have known the style. And so I thought that was interesting. Now, I'm not saying Blair loved us. He absolutely didn't. But until he got involved with Iraq and so on, the social justice program was an improvement. We got children's centres, we got Sure Start, we got Northern Ireland, which was fascinating. I mean, again, I had arguments with them about Northern Ireland. They were annoyed with me for meeting Sinn Féin and Gerry Adams in the run-up to the 97 election, and I said it's absolutely essential to do it. I've been meeting them for years, and I'll carry on meeting them.
And the bizarre thing is, the government were already meeting with them. Because that's how negotiations work. Behind the scenes, the British government had been negotiating with both sides for years. That's how this deal came to pass. That's how peace happened. And yet they were openly criticising this guy for just doing the same thing, but doing it in public. Kev, you be Corbyn, I'll be Thornbury. Curtis, I would happily slap your breastus. 9 ways to Sunday. It would be a beautiful thing. What a chat-up line that is. You be Corbyn, I'll be Thornbury. Delicious.
They said, we'd rather you didn't. I said, well, one day you'll be pleased I did.
Yeah, well...
But they were prepared to engage. Now, Blair got totally off the wall when he got involved with Bush in Iraq, and I just remember the many meetings we had over the run-up to Iraq war. We had one meeting, there was about 10 Labour MPs around a table in the Prime Minister's room in the Commons, and Blair said, OK, I've got to go. He looked quite irritable and tired and quite bored with what we'd all been saying, because we'd all been saying much the same thing. He said, I'll take one more question. So I said, OK. He looked at me, from me, Jeremy, if you must. I said, yeah, I must, Tony. So he said, what's your question? I said, Tony, why are we doing this? Because it's the right thing to do.
Wow.
Then walked out.
Wow. Yeah, he really got that messianic kind of...
We've got to do the war crimes. How could we not? It'd be madness.
The reason that people from Birmingham never leave Birmingham is because that's the only place they don't sound thick. Torn for the weather in Norfolk. See what I mean?
It's so true.
Do it one more time.
Sorry.
Torn for the weather.
Oh, I can't even deny it. It's just true.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not engaging any more in this stuff. And after that, in the denial, and that's why I'm pushing the Gaza inquiry bill, which I put into Parliament, which is a Chilcot-style inquiry. Remember, Chilcot didn't come first.
No, there's also whitewashing.
Butler inquiry and the Foreign Affairs Select Committee inquiry. And then, so what I've done is put a Gaza inquiry bill to the House.
Is that September?
Yeah, it's blocked by the government, so we're doing an independent inquiry, 4th and 5th September, Church House, Westminster.
And that's to interrogate what British complicity actually is.
That's right.
Well, on that, Zoe Sultana, who you've launched this party with, she just says very clearly, very plainly, that Keir Starmer and David Lammy belong in The Hague. And the Genocide Convention...
Is what, wrong in the head?
No, belong in The Hague. Although...
What did he think... Hang on, what did he think they'd said?
Very clearly, very plainly, that Keir Starmer and David Lammy belong in The Hague. And the Genocide Convention...
Is what, wrong in the head?
No.
Wrong in the head. He said they belong at The Hague, and he went, wrong in the head? God, he's such an old man. Oh, no. I mean, both are correct, but in, slightly different ways.
Belong in The Hague. Although, I don't want to speculate on that. No, but I mean, the Genocide Convention of 1948 prohibits 5 crimes. One of them is complicity in genocide.
Yes.
And it also imposes legal obligations of governments to prevent...
I have raised a specific point in Parliament with Lammy and others who deny it. I've said to them, look, the ICJ has given its opinion that acts of a genocidal nature taking place in Gaza. I was at the ICJ to listen to it all.
He literally was. He was a guest of the South African government, which is fucking dope. Imagine that. Literally, the post-apartheid South African government are inviting you to try and stop an apartheid in somewhere else as well. Like, that is so based. He's so fucking based, man. We could have had this cunt as Prime Minister. Come on now. Oh. God damn it. Thanks for stopping by, user nameless entity. Enjoy whatever it is you're up to this fine evening.
Court of Justice, absolutely fascinating. International Court of Justice. And I've raised this with them, with Haley and with Lamy. I said, look, the issue is, if you know genocidal acts are taking place, and you do know, and you are knowingly supplying the wherewithal to Israel to continue further acts, you yourself are complicit and open to prosecution. They deny it. I said it's not our legal advice. Well,
that's fair enough, 255. Yeah, okay, maybe he did. Maybe he did know about the vote in 1997.
That's an issue we will explore.
Well, the Conservative MP, Kit Malthouse, he's done actually a blinder of a job, I have to say. Fascinating. But he raised that. He said...
Kit Malthouse, no, not natural mate.
No, I wouldn't imagine he would be, to be honest with you.
In a civilised way.
But he said to David Lammy that he could end up one day in The Hague. So, I mean, do you think that's possible?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely they should. And again, I'll point out not just the politicians, but the people who have aided and abetted this. Julius Streicher, the publisher of Die Stürmer, the Nazi newspaper rag, right, propaganda rag, he was executed at the end of the war. Lord Haw, the Nazi propagandist, technically from Ireland originally, but he was a British citizen, was executed for, again, aiding and abetting war crimes and crimes against humanity. I think there are a lot of journalists, megaphones for Zionism, basically, who really should reflect on that. They should reflect on their part in this. And how that might end up in a more just world. If this were a more just world, that is, of course.
That you could end up with prosecution.
It is extremely possible. And I remember going up to Kit after one of his contributions to the chamber, and I said, "Well done, well said, comrade. It must be a bit lonely doing this when he's surrounded by some pretty hawkish people." He said, "Well, coming from you, that's quite something."
But I mean, so Keir Starmer said that he's trying to use Palestinian national statehood as a bargaining chip. He said that.
I can't believe David Lammy went on fucking Celebrity Mastermind anyway. The man's a fucking idiot. Ugh.
If Israel doesn't commit to a ceasefire, then he'll support the right of Palestine to national authority. So it doesn't make any sense, either, because he said that if Israel doesn't commit to a two-state solution, but then Britain would no longer support a Palestinian state. It doesn't make any sense. But what do you think about what he's saying, instead of ending arms sales? And
it's absurd.
And it's so mad. Did you realise that Jeremy Corbyn is... Not Jeremy Corbyn, sorry. That Keir Starmer, Sir Keir Starmer, KC, is Hamas. He is. Because it doesn't matter how much at all you suck up to them, how much you give them absolutely everything they want. It doesn't matter. They will absolutely shit on you the second you step out of line in the slightest. Because even his far too little, far too late, mealy-mouthed bullshit about maybe, possibly, if the right circumstances, we might recognise Palestine, is enough for Labour Against Anti-Semitism, a Zionist lobby group, to come out and say the Prime Minister's declaration that he will recognise a Palestinian state unless Israel takes action to end the situation in Gaza puts all of the onus on Israel. It ignores that without the barbaric attack on Israel on October the 7th, well, the Foreign Secretary in New York announced that Hamas must never be rewarded, blah, blah, blah. The government is doing just that. They have said that Hamas must also agree to a ceasefire and disarmament, except it can have no control over blah, blah, blah. But there is no incentive for them to comply, and there is no consequence for them ignoring their request. They are not being threatened the way the Israeli government is being threatened. So basically, Keir Starmer is now Hamas. Because he said that he might, in the future, do the bare minimum. Literally the barest of bare minimum. And that makes him Hamas now. Never give them an inch, people. Never give them a fucking inch. Never apologise to them. There is no deprivation to which they will not sink. Deprivation, is that the right word? I don't know. Anyway, they're scum. Zionists are scum, okay?
And it's a travesty of any understanding of international law. I don't know whether Keir missed the lectures on international law or something. Maybe he skipped a few. But it's completely crazy. You either recognise Palestine or you don't. 146 countries have recognised Palestine. France says it's going to in September. Why not now? Don't know.
Exactly, yeah.
And he says
you don't have to
we
wait.
will
You don't have to wait for a UN meeting. You can just do it now. Why wait till September?
recognise unless Israel agrees to a ceasefire. So in other words, he's saying you can continue the occupation, but you must stop the bombing, so we won't recognise
depravity. Depravity was the word.
Palestine. So it's leaving the Palestinian people once again in terrible limbo. So either you recognise or you don't. Now, the House of Commons voted in more than 15 years.
Yeah, when Ed Miliband was Labour leader.
Yeah. On a private member's motion, voted non-binding motion to recognise the state of Palestine. So there is a record there for it. And I think that Starmer's confused position is going to be something else. Now, apparently, he told Labour MPs yesterday morning that there was going to be an unconditional recognition of Palestine. And then 4 hours later, he's met Donald Trump, and it's totally different.
With Israel's genocide.
Because he's a massive cock. And the Zionists got to him again.
I mean, I think to myself, I want to phrase this properly because I don't want to talk about the genocide.
And I want to just bring you all back to the phrase he used, because I think it's very, very telling. Nobody should have a veto on Britain's recognition of Palestine. No one should have a veto. That was what he said, right? Which suggests that he's fully aware that outside forces dictate what the British government do. That he doesn't have full freedom of action to make a decision in Britain's best interests. Which is pretty fucking concerning when you actually dig into that sentence for a second and the implications that arise from it. We're in some pretty fucking dark territory. Which is something we need to get back to as a nation, I think, and really analyse and come to terms with. Because this needs to stop. This can't, not only does the genocide have to stop, but the outside influence that political actors have on supposedly sovereign nations needs to fucking end. Just saying.
Extermination of the Palestinian people is always some teachable lesson to the world. It's one of the abominations of our time. But, it's changed me forever. It's changed other people forever. Do you think it has fundamentally changed politics in a way that isn't actually properly understood yet? I mean, we look back at the financial crash, the Iraq War, these all had long-term...
brought out the human in a lot of people that didn't come out before. The previous genocides, you think Cambodia, you think Rwanda, you think Darfur, you think Second World War, all those genocides were not on live television in the way that this one is.
Yeah, yes. Exactly. Just set up, but you don't even need 3 steady cam, just 2. Because the wide shot isn't really that necessary. Just cut between the 2 people talking. You just need 2 cameras. Instead of having this wibbly wobbly fucking thing where a person is literally holding it. It's just... I feel like it's seasick or something.
There were, in the case of particularly Rwanda, there was quite a lot of television coverage, but not to the extent we get now. We now get this live coverage. I don't know about you. I watch lots of different international channels, usually late at night, sort of Al Jazeera, France 24, and so on.
Of course he watches Al Jazeera and France 24. Fuck yes. Does he watch NDTV as well? I hope so. Why didn't the noise go off of that? Oh, the alert box is still fucking switched off. God dang it. Thank you, NYC guy, again. Who says, oi, oi, Kev, when are you doing another question time? Well, whenever it's back. When is question time back, actually? Good question. It went off on its summer hiatus, so I don't know when the next one is. There are no upcoming broadcasts. Yes, there are. The 26th of... No, the 12th. It's not back till September. What? Holy shit, it's not back till September. So... chill, I guess. I don't know. What can I say? Yeah, but anyway, thank you for the bitty bits. And thank you to James Corbyn for becoming a member on YouTube. So we've just been followed, we've just been membered? We've been membered by J Corbyn on YouTube. Suspicious. I see you, Jez. I see you. I'd mix up your naming game, though. I'd choose something completely different. Just spelling Corbyn different and calling yourself James, that's not really... like, I can see through that subterfuge, okay? Call yourself something completely different. Choose something exotic. Or name yourself after, like, an anime character or something.
I find it hard to look at it. When you see a mother with a baby, she's so emaciated and hungry and dehydrated, she can't create enough milk in herself to feed her baby. And she's got this wailing, crying baby who's clearly near to death. So you're watching live stream death. And what? Gaza is quite small, probably 10 kilometres away.
The size of East London, yeah.
There's water, there's milk, there's food, there's everything that baby needs. And it's been deliberately done by the state of Israel and by the IDF.
In plain sight. I mean, you mentioned Rwanda. We weren't arming the genocidal army at the time. Do you think, I mean, both a political and media elite which is complicit?
Well, for what it's worth, and it's probably worth nothing really, I guess. The flights that I mean, I've been banging on about them every opportunity because I think it's so disgusting. The spy flights that we've been flying from Cyprus, RAF Akrotiri, over Palestinian territory, which we know is the information is being passed on to the IDF because the IDF then bomb those locations. We've been doing active information gathering and reconnaissance for the IDF. We're an outsourced cockchair bitch in the genocide, right? Those flights, thankfully, after over a year of doing them, have now stopped. The planes that were being used for that purpose have been flown back to Britain, and no flights have taken off in that direction for several days now. So it would appear that a decision has been made. Maybe the British government realise, ooh, that might get brought up because there's going to be like a trial maybe at some point in the future. Maybe it doesn't look very good that we've been literally helping them do the genocide. So, that's something. I mean, again, it's far too little, far too late. But it's definitely not completely nothing. So that's, you know. And interestingly, in case anyone was looking for any parallels between anything, the site that they were flown back to was RAF Bryce Norton, which is the RAF base that the banned terrorist organisation Palestine Action, who you can't say you support because, again, that would itself be terrorism. You get up to 14 years in prison. You shouldn't say it. Were the ones where they broke in and put paint on the plane. I'm sick of this motherfucking paint on this motherfucking plane was something they didn't say, unfortunately. So I just look. I'm just bringing that up as, let's say, context for the actions of a terrorist organisation who I definitely don't support. Because if you were supporting a terrorist organisation, you'd be a terrorist. And I don't support terrorism. I don't... Look, you will never ever hear me say I support Palestine Action, because that would be illegal. Unless, of course, they win their thing, in which case, who knows? Who knows what I might say in the future? I can't predict. I don't have crystal balls. I've got sweaty ones.
In genocide has just lost its legitimacy.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're complicit in genocide...
Yeah, it wasn't even RAF planes. They were outsourced private planes that get hired by the IRA. The IRA. The RAF. They definitely don't get hired by the IRA. No.
Side, as we now are as a country...
Imagine if the IRA had a fucking air force. Oh, that would be wild.
We have supplied weapons knowing full well what's going to happen. And when I've asked about these surveillance flights over Gaza, there's an awful lot of them. What are they for? Because if they're supposed to be looking for the hostages, they haven't been very good at it. But besides, if hostages are being kept in tunnels somewhere, it's not...
Oh, Fulmar, by the way, you didn't need to apologise in the comments for being parasocial. It was fine. I don't mind. You didn't do anything wrong. God bless you.
Very likely you'll see them from a plane. And so you ask yourself the question, what's this for?
Kev, we have a problem every single time I meet with Green Party leadership. They think I'm you because you are far too handsome. I'm not gonna go for curly locks and I love you forever.
Oh, it's the Morton, you absolutely delicious beast. Honestly, you flatter me. And you know what? Flattery will get you everywhere. Cheeky bit of nip. There you go. Oh, cheeky bit of nip. There you go. It's boy nipple, so it's fine. Perfectly legal. You won't get 14 years for boy nipple. Girl nipple, on the other hand, is terrorism. You'll never see me hear me saying I support girl nipple. Thank you. Also, it's the Morton who said, Ellie, Adrian, and Zach all I think I am you. They definitely don't think you're me. That wouldn't make any sense. Unless, do you look like me? Do you sound like me? Are you me? I don't know who I am anymore. Anyway, we're on a hype train. If we get to level 2 of the hype train, because we didn't get there last time, right? If we get to level 2 of the hype train, I will what was it? Who was I going to finger? I can't even remember. I'll finger someone. We'll get it done. No, they do. Hang on. For a start off, right? There's absolutely no fucking way in this world that any of those people know who I am. It's the Morton. They don't know who the fuck I am. I'm nobody, right? So don't even try that shit with me. Okay? Because I'll cuff a bitch. Don't even fucking start with me. I won't do that. That would be violence. Finster got a temporary ban for showing small boober. That's what I mean. Girl nips. Girl nips are the devil. We've been through this. Can we estrogenize one of your nipples just for the memes so you have an illegal nipple?
The return of the sausages.
What, so I have a duality of
love.
nipple?
Boo, kitty bonk.
So I have a duality of nipple taking place where I've got one legal nipple and one illegal nipple. I like that juxtaposition. All is fair in tits and war. What is this? Bibby goes to Burger King. Yeah, you know what? I think we can have this.
With caramel flavored hummus on it.
We don't have hummus here, sir. Also, you cut the line. These people were here first.
Well, I was promised this spot in line 5 minutes ago. And just like my caramel flavored hummus burger.
That's disgusting. Anyway, you're holding up the line. These people here have a right to eat too.
They're hungry because Hamas stole their food.
No, you stole their spot in line and now you won't let them get any food.
That sounds like blood libel.
I and the entire staff saw it with our own eyes.
Either way, it's better off they don't eat. That way we can make staying in line unbearable. And we can give them the choice to leave. And it would take this coupon.
Sir, this coupon is 3 years old.
Expiration dates are anti-Semitic. Well, do you accept American aid?
You mean like food stamps?
More like bunker buster bombs.
No, we don't, and I think we've all had enough of you. It's time to leave.
Has anybody ever told you you look like a human shield? Well, I'm not leaving empty-handed. I want a crown.
Here, take your crown and leave.
Baby happy. Baby make Israel proud. Baby avoid corruption charges for one more day.
That was actually a very good impression. That was fucking sexy. That was awesome. Hey, is that the Jack Meller? Are you the Jack Meller? Good God, sir. Thank you, Owen Historian, for 1312 bitty bits, and thank you, Dr. Phil Decker. Next time I'm laying pipe, I'm going to think of Adrian Ramsey to delay orgasm. Yeah, fair enough. That is fair. Absolutely. He is ejaculation repellent. He is the physical manifestation of dry pussy. You want to see parasocial? I'm going to parachute myself to socially suck your... That is... Phantom of Black, that is too far.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Victory is
So
ours.
yes, the next person that does a super chat on the YouTubes, you get to choose who I finger. Again, it has to be a dead fascist. Okay, we've done some alive people this week. We don't want to get into that territory. I only want to finger dead people at this point. Please and thank you. I'm going to insist on this as the next palate cleanser. What is it? Is this... Oh, is this the thing from the... Oh, okay. You know what? We'll do it now. Fuck it. Let's go.
So I asked my patrons what they'd like me to make a video about, and this month they picked... You guys are the only ones I'll let ruin my monetization like this, okay? So this is a tree in Hampstead Heath that's a popular gay cruising spot. It was visited in 2023 by the writer Bron Maher, and he said, "It's poetically perfect for its role. The roots of the tree splay out like a hand clutching a bedsheet. The trunk is prone and abdomen high, its belly flat to the heath floor, before making an abrupt 45-degree lift toward the canopy. This tree, I tell you, has a slutty little back arch." Incredibly evocative writing, 10 out of 10 paragraph. The earliest instance I can find of the actual name only goes back to 2017 with this short film of that name by Liz Rosenfeld. But given that the name isn't exactly publishable in a family paper and Hampstead Heath has been a gay cruising spot for a long time, I will believe that the name is older than that. And even if the name isn't much older than that, the location and its use probably are. We know that the singer George Michael used the Heath for cruising, and in 2012 he said, "Sorry if people don't like the fact I cruise on Hampstead Heath, but the police absolutely accept that it goes on at night. It's the only place in London where that is so it's generally a safe place."
Imagine that. Imagine you go out looking for some cock and all of a sudden it's George fucking Michael. And then when you're wanking him off you go, "Oh, well, I guess it would be nice if I could touch your body. I know not everybody we got a body like me, but I gotta think twice." George Michael was a communist too. I'm not sure if he was a fully blown communist, but he was pretty based. I would just sing songs to him. Honestly, I think I'd be the most distracting cottager ever if I met a famous person. I've never seen Kev so focused.
Yeah, don't go and bother people who are there at night. But if you're there during the day, you'll be fine. I promise you won't see anyone while you're walking your dog. Every month I ask my patron...
Unless your dog is another gay man in leather. You might see that. Actually, I don't think they do kink. They just fuck. It's fine. Vanilla public gay sex. Me on the heath. I like it. I like it. Thank you everyone for the hype train. Yeah, much love. Hang on. Do I have to? How do I do that again? Set a goal. How do I do the thing? No, that's not it. Hang on a minute. Can I set a goal? Is that even a thing that you can do anymore? Timestamp reaction, pop out chat, participate. How do I set a goal again? Is that can I even do that anymore? Oh, there we go. Go the big white one that says goal, you dumb cunt. Fuck's sake. One super chat. What's the least we can do?
I don't want to do this anymore!
Oh, have you already done it? Oh, Jack Mellor. If you insist, let's go Salazar. Okay, we're going Portugal. Nice. Thank you, the Jack Mellor, for being awesome for first and foremost, and for suggesting a slightly, well, I would say left of field, but that's no, a nice random fascioid. Yeah. Hello, Imran Hossein. How are you? Welcome on in. Jack Miller, the king is here, indeed. Absolute fucking leg end.
They refuse to say, and when I've said, is any of this...
Pinochet probably needs it more. Probably, but the thing I'll say is I think we've done Pinochet a couple of times. And honestly, flying to Chile it's difficult, man. That's a long way away. Portugal's way closer. Actually, I have no idea. Is Pinochet even buried there? I don't give a fuck. Either way, he's in hell with his good friend Margaret Thatcher. They're reminiscing about the old times whilst their skin burns off in the lake of fire. Yeah.
Information being passed on to the IDF. Are they actually surveillance rights to pro-war? They say, we're not saying what they're for. And so I said, okay, if that's the situation, will you therefore undertake that every piece of footage you've got, a film over Gaza, will be handed over to the ICC and the ICJ? They said, no, it's our information. Is it shared with Israel? And then Lemmy said that it is not being shared with the IDF for their purposes. So what is it for?
It makes no sense, does it? I mean,
well, David Lammy is lying. He is, in fact, full of shite. It is being shared with Israel, obviously. And even if it weren't, do you think the Israeli government, through its secret agents, don't have access to every paperclip in fucking Whitehall? Come on now. Israel behaves like fucking Moriarty or some shit from fucking Sherlock Holmes. They just run everything. They are the Napoleon of international war crimes. That is a deep cut reference. You know what? I'm a literary man. I'm cerebral, yeah? Thank you, Mellow Maggot, with a donation on the YouTubes. Much feckin' love to you. You didn't leave a message, but you left it loud and clear. Hello there, Story Girl. Everyone go and follow Story Girl. Immediately.
So, because the IDF would have to allow them permission to do that. I mean,
you'd have thought they'd shoot them down otherwise.
Well, I mean, indeed. I mean, they must, given the amount of flies, they must have huge amounts of evidence of war crimes and crimes against humanity. So they.
The fuck trees on Wikipedia. Love it. The fuck tree is a sessile? I don't know. Oak tree on the West Heath of Hampstead Heath in North London. It is located in an established gay cruising area and is noted for its prostrate trunk, which facilitates gay sex. Prostrate trunk is an incredible phrase. The roots of the... Oh, yeah, no, we already read that bit, yeah. The trunk of the tree. So this is from... Hang on. The character Wilfred from Mona of the Manor goes there, cruising for sex. Muppin writes that the fuck tree, quote, stood in a clearing bordered by dark thickets on all sides. The trunk of the tree swooped so low to the ground that it became a chase against which you could lean for wanking or bend over to be fucked. A 2025 ACT UP protest against anti-cruising notices in West Heath included a sign that said, "Take me to the fuck tree." I was previously unaware of the fucktree, and I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad of Wayward Historian's general influence on this channel. She's much better at it than me. But especially tonight, we've all learned something truly beautiful. I will consider that one for next time, Phantom. Thank you very much.
So that itself is complicity, isn't it? They're not handing
Well, I would recommend that when the next inquiry takes place at either the ICC or ICJ or both, they subpoena Britain to come along with the evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Get everything on record. There needs to be a genuine, like with the original Nuremberg trials and their kind of successor trials. Because everyone knows the big main leaders trial, but there were loads. There was a doctor's trial and all sorts. There was, several smaller players' trials and stuff. There needs to be a reckoning with this, not just because you need this for history, for posterity's sake. We need to know the truth of what actually happened. We need to know exactly who did what, why, when, and how. The truth must out. And secondly, there needs to be something of a truth and reconciliation type thing take place, but not just with the IDF or the Israeli government, but sort of with the entirety of Israeli society, really. Because whilst, of course, not...
I don't want to do this anymore!
Fuck, I didn't need that. Whilst not every person in Israeli society is complicit with this, there are many very, very brave people who have, refused to join the IDF and been imprisoned, who've campaigned and protested against the Israeli government and their actions, and have been treated phenomenally brutally and cruelly by the Israeli government. But for the rest of the Israeli society, unfortunately, so many of them support. So many of them support what's gone on here. There is a sickness at the heart of that society that needs to be dealt with. Because no solution, regardless of whether it's 1 state, 2 state, 50 state, 1 million state, can exist in anything like sustainable peace, whilst 70+% of a population believe that murder and forcible displacement and annexation of land is a good and positive thing, or that responding to the death of a few hundred people by killing hundreds of thousands of people is remotely appropriate. Just saying. Elbow cuff. What? What's going on here? I don't know. Thank you, Adreno says, let's all dance around the fuck tree. Yeah, why not? Absolutely. Now, Lord Fruitus. Now.
And they're signed up fully to ICC and ICJ. USA is not, but
they've been prepared to torpedo what's called international law in order to protect Israel from accountability for genocide.
This is both a defeat and a victory for international law. It's a defeat because international law has clearly been breached, but the other side of it is that international law has at least given us the opening to do it, and the very brave decision by South Africa to do that. And I'm part of the Hague group, which we set up through Progressive International, which has just been...
Is that a group that likes William Hague? Because that would be really weird politically for you. I don't think that's bad.
Joined by Turkey, so we now have 14 nations fully signed up to it and another 17 discussing it. So we might end up with a UN group of 40 or 50 nations signed up to it, and after that things change.
Just the last thing,
Nice.
so, Keir Starmer, you worked with him because he was in this other cabinet saying he was 100% loyal to Jeremy Corbyn and all the rest of it. What do you think makes him tip politically? I asked this because, he's stood on a pack of lies, so we're going to leave the Labour Party. I can say it, if you know.
Are you summoning
he lied for his teeth. And a recent book had his advisors briefing that Keir Starmer thinks...
Yes, we are 2 hours in, and we are about 2/3, maybe slightly more, 3/4 of the way through this video. There had been other things I wanted to take a look at. I don't think we're going to get to them. I'll be entirely honest.
He's driving the train, but we've put him in front of the District Light Railway, which for those who don't know is a driverless train. But that, I mean, they're openly...
Well, not the district, it's the Docklands Light Railway. Tish tish. A poor understanding of train nomenclature.
Briefing that this guy
on a DLR train, is that
that's what they said. I'm just saying what they said. That's his own people. No, but I mean that's interesting, isn't it? They're saying he's just a front man, this guy. So what the hell? You had to work with him? What does it? Explain him to me.
Well, I wish I could. I appointed him to the shadow cabinet. I thought he was very legally qualified. I'm going to see in DPP, so you'd expect that. And that he would be across the details of the endless discussions about the withdrawal agreement.
No, the fuck tree did need to be mentioned. I'm not apologising for mentioning the fuck tree. I'm not apologising for any of the detours. What I'm suggesting is that I need to be more focused. I've been particularly distractible today. Case in point.
Wait, Pagagua? Merv, where are you?
Merv, no.
Keep going.
Keep going. He's there. Merv, who have you summoned?
Merv, are you
I don't know that that's what that cat was saying. I think that's some interpretation has gone on with the subtitles there. The fuck tree party, yes, now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Etc., etc., which he was, actually. We went to Brussels together a few times. We met Michel Barnier together.
Was he particularly fond of any Ukrainians on those trips? Did he meet with any Ukrainian envoys in his private suite at the hotel at any point? I'm suggesting he may have had sex with prostitutes, male prostitutes from Ukraine. I'm suggesting that Keir Starmer uses Ukrainian male rent boys. That was the joke I was doing because they tried to burn his house down. And that story just disappeared. Someone tried to burn the Prime Minister's house down. Ah, well. Don't need to talk about that story ever again.
Didn't say a vast amount at those meetings, but he asked questions, but most of it was me and Barnier talking, and I was trying to get an agreement with Barnier of what we would do as a government.
Jim Speak, my favourite cat thing is their surprised noise. When like a cat doesn't know that you're going to annoy it or whatever. I used to do this to Rurikaz all the time, right? He'd just be sort of sleeping there or whatever, or just lying there, and I'd poke him and he'd go, "Rrr?" That noise. Oh. "Rrr? Rrr?" It's like, what the fuck? What's going on here? Let's have less of that nonsense. Scared the shit out of me, you prick. Trying to give me a heart attack? I've only got 9 lives.
In terms of trade and all those relations with Europe. What I found with Keir was that outside of the formal, detailed legal stuff, he had very little to say and very little opinions on anything. He's not somebody that would come here to this park with you and me and start chatting to that wonderful woman and talking to who's been walking dogs. He wouldn't do that.
It's not Mr. Personable.
No. No, he's not. Well, all politicians don't have to be Mr. Personable, but I do think you have to have some empathy and understanding of people's lives, what their hopes are, what their fears are, and what their wishes are. And we live in a country that is deeply divided.
Well, it's run by wankers who don't give a fuck. That's the large part of the problem. And I think it's fair that he was asked the question there about putting Keir Starmer in the shadow cabinet, because, like, he did do that. I think I've said before that that this is a slightly weird comparison, but I think it's true. But one thing we don't give Abraham Lincoln any criticism for, because of the whole, you know, thing, was the fact that he chose Andrew Johnson as his running mate, and therefore when he got Forbes'd, he became president and then fucked up Reconstruction very badly and got impeached. And that's on him. He chose him. He didn't need to choose him. He could have stuck with his original vice president, but he didn't. And Keir Starmer was chosen, at least in part, by Jeremy Corbyn to be in the shadow cabinet. Although I think he was originally brought into the party by Ed Miliband, if I remember correctly. But, you know, you still chose to put him in the cabinet as fucking Brexit, or shadow Brexit secretary, so I think it's fair that you answer that.
Getting worse. Poverty is getting worse. I've never known so many sleeping homeless people, never known so many hungry children, never known people so stressed or so in personal debt. And yet we're heading off in a direction of waving flags, spending more money on weapons and less on the needs of people.
Well, waving flags as long as they're not Palestine flags, because then you get arrested. Because apparently that's also terrorism.
But we're doing that on a global scale. The arms race is the thing that is driving so much of it. And the rise of the far right all across Europe reflects that. I'll just finish on this. The rise of the far right. They've grown in Spain, Portugal, Italy, Germany, Austria, and so on. You know that. They set up this sort of wall of 10, 15% of the electorate. The Conservative parties all across Europe have moved to the right because they fear for losing support to the far right, leaving a big gap in the middle. Social Democrat parties, with some exceptions across Europe, have been disgraceful. What they've done is bought in to the rhetoric that refugees cause problems.
Absolutely. You know what? Good point. Excellent fucking point. Yes. Absolutely fucking true. It's not just that Conservative parties have completely sold out their own countries to protect their own interests from the far right, whilst therefore not defeating the far right but just becoming the far right. Social democratic parties throughout Europe have given up the fight, frankly, and spinelessly, fucking balllessly, cojoneslessly, that's not a word, I went too far, capitulated and just gone, oh, well, we'll just do that as well then. And so everyone's just rushed to the far right and then gone, well, how have the far right got into power? How have the far right become so popular? Because you're all fucking far right now. You've all just accepted, oh, immigrants bad. In all circumstances, fuck it. That's how racism gets normalised. That's how fucking Keir Starmer comes out and starts fucking quoting bits of the Rivers of Blood.
Bought into the rhetoric that somehow or other desperate people in Calais are a threat to our society, bought into that racist stuff about victims of war. And then the far right gain support because it's been legitimised by the whole political establishment. Yourparty.uk will never, ever go down that road. We'll be there this weekend opposing the rise of the far right, and we'll be there mobilising people of all faiths, of all communities, of all languages to build a society that's fit for all of us. That's what
Fuck yes, man. Take me, Jezza. I am yours.
we're about.
And do you think Labour's dead and forever? Do you think your former colleagues who've not signed up, would you want them? Do you think they should come over?
It's amazing. When was re-elected to Parliament last July, I walked into the Labour end of the tea room, and I now know what happened with the parting of the waves. There's a complete silence when I walked in, and I just walked through the swathes of new Labour MPs. Sort of, well, you know.
Fuck yes, that must have been awesome. That must have been amazing. That's just him going, look, I'm just going to walk through. I own you, you bitches. You tried to fucking take me down. You take a swing at the king's still fucking standing. Behold. Behold. You tried to strike me down. You made me more powerful than you can possibly imagine. Fuck yes. He must have felt 10 feet tall, man. Fucking awesome.
Is it somebody? He's got bubonic plague, by the way. Don't go too near him. So I walked on through, and but now what I find is a lot of Labour MPs come and search me out in the library. So they look around like this.
Jeremy, I think you're doing the right thing.
And there's a lot of them that sort of say, well, fair play to you. You're doing the right thing. Good luck with the new party.
Interesting.
Are they going to come over tomorrow? No. But are they going to work with us? Yeah. So we are, therefore, a force in Parliament for social justice. And we work with Rachel Maskell, with John McDonnell and others, opposing the two-child benefit cap, etc.
A couple of final things. I mean, one is Labour going to say it's also Farage, the electoral system is what it is, and you like it or lump it, guys, you're going to have to vote for us, and this will split the vote, and Farage will become Prime Minister.
This is the Mandelson theory of politics, and it goes back a long way, that somehow or other there's a huge block of working...
Oh, I didn't realise there were ASMR stands in chat. I see you.
...class votes out there that will, however reluctantly, eventually be cajoled into voting Labour, because they've always done. I think a number of things have changed. That is no longer the case. People are...
It's the Morton. I hope you mean orange juice. Because, like, I know he's dead, but that would be a very weird thing to say if you don't mean that you love orange juice. I'm just putting that out there.
Less tribally loyal to any party or grouping than they've ever been in the past, more interested in the issues. Look at the election results where independents are running, and by and large, not all, but by and large, independents are a sort of cipher for a broadly peaceful left position, not exclusively, but broad.
Oh, Owen Jones, okay. How do you feel about orange juice? Or how do you feel about Orenthal James Simpson? Can we get some lols in chat for O.J. Simpson being dead? Because he is like a double murderer, so... Just saying. Like, hypothetically, you could say lol, you know, if he was dead. Because he is. He is dead.
Broadly speaking. And so I think things have changed, and the numbers that have signed up to us, I think, says it all. 600,000 is a pretty significant figure. That is more than twice the size of any other political party in the country.
That is massive.
Finally.
Already.
Finally, I just want to ask you finally. Zach Polanski is sadly to be leader of the Greens. I think he'll win that leadership election.
I do hope so. Someone asked earlier, and I meant to get to it, about why didn't Jeremy Corbyn just join the Green Party? I'm not sure the Green Party would have necessarily wanted him, not because they're like fucking crazy anti-Corbyn people, but they realise there's a lot of smoke that comes with it. There's a lot of like dangerous vibes that come along with it because the press will go after you, right? And secondly, I think he's to the left of the Green Party. I don't think he'd want to be in the Green Party because there are people like fucking Ellie Chowns and Briefcase that are in there, you know? So, yeah, it's I don't think he's a natural Green Party person. I don't think a lot of the new Green Party people are. But they're changing the Green Party into something better. So that's cool.
A slightly extraordinary discussion on LBC where he was on with Adrian Ramsey, who's one of the newly elected Green MPs, in which he was asked if he liked Zach. And by the way, Zach is a very likeable, really sweet guy, actually. And Adrian could not answer the question. So my question is, do you like Zach Plansky? And more to...
Are you missing some point from the Green? Well, it's the Morton. By all means, explain to me if I am missing points.
Point, would you work with the Green Party? And what's your attitude towards the Greens?
I do like Zach Polanski, and I think he's a very engaging, very personable and very honest guy. I mean, he and I have had differences in the past.
Can they work in coalitions? They absolutely can, yeah. And even if they don't want a formal coalition, they can come to an electoral arrangement whereby in each seat they decide, like, oh, which one has the best chance of winning in this seat, and the other party stands down in that seat. Do you see what I mean? Rather than having two left parties fighting each other and potentially letting Reform or Labour or the Tories in, you stand aside for the party that has the better chance of winning, to try and stop some other prick getting into Parliament, you know. And that could really make the difference in the terms of the balance of the next Parliament. Zach likes you, by the way. He knows you. No, he fucking doesn't. It's the Morton. You silly sausage. Ugh.
We've got over all that. And I personally get on with him. I've done meetings with him, anti-establishment meetings and so on.
It's still fucking... Oh, my God. How can it still be game, mate? Thank you, Rachel, who says, I'm majorly shipping Zach and Owen as an item. I could see it. Okay. No, he doesn't. It's the Morton. If he does, okay, it's the Morton. If he knows who I am, get him to contact me and I'll have him on the show. Seems how you seem to know him incredibly well, apparently. Yeah, that's right. The gauntlet has been thrown down. Put up or shut up. Get the Green Party wannabe leaders on Kev's trip. Oh, that would be amazing. Ellie eating shit on Twitter. Links! Link me, Jordan. Link! Look, it was a big thing for me to join the Greens after being so betrayed by Labour. I'm not committing to the new Sultana Corbyn party unless I see genuine progress. I'm still very sceptical of Corbyn's ability to gain enough support and overcome the media smears, whereas if Zach wins, I think Greens have a good chance to do something very cool. That's fair enough.
That's a stiff dick of poop.
Viv. Sorry, I'm being distracted. Sorry. Yeah, that's fair enough, Viv. Yeah, I think you I think that's a perfectly salient point and position to have, because this party doesn't really exist as such yet, because you can't join it as a member, so it doesn't even have a fucking name. So I wouldn't advise people to leave the Green Party for this new party yet, because you're sort of leaving a potentially good thing for a mystery box, you know, which, yeah, that's probably not a wise political stratagem. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So, Ellie Tunes. It's a Substack. What's a Substack? What are you talking about? I don't know. Anyway, Ellie Jones. Dear Lefty Stat. Lefty Stat says Green Leader candidates Adrian Ramsey and Ellie Jones say they want trans women banned from women's spaces and sports. Okay. And Ellie responds with, Dear @Lefty Stats, I certainly did not call for this. Misrepresentations like this are irresponsible and only serve to create false divisions. I hope people will listen to what I actually say, not to misrepresentations. And Stats for Lefties says, oh, I can zoom in. Actually, you did literally say that. See, it's right here. You say refuges, prisons and sports should be able to exclude trans people. Did you even read your own response to LGBTIQA Greens? That's a weird way of putting the letters around. Or does Adrian just write everything for you? Okay. She says gender and biological sex are not the same thing, and that the law does not allow for some circumstances where does need to allow for some circumstances where services may need to be provided on a biological sex basis, such as domestic violence, refuges, prisons, and some sports. Decisions on supervision need to be made based on evidence. So, yeah, she did say that then. So she literally did say that. Amazing. I mean, don't talk shit then. Really, Ellie? Don't talk shit. Amazing. Mate, this is silly. What's silly? What are you talking about? Thank you, Igloo BC, for gifting a sub to It's the Morton. What's the issue there?
Would we work with them? Yes, on issues. Generally, we'd agree on environmental issues. We'd agree on social justice issues. They're not a socialist organisation, and they. This was
all shit targeted at Muffin to be break it. To be break it. What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Seemed to me into an eternal riven debate between trying to appeal to a sort of semi-conservative voting suburban electorate as opposed to a committed environmentally conscious electorate. So yes, we work with them in Parliament, and yes, we would cooperate, but we're not forming an alliance with them. They don't want to form an alliance with us, but we do recognise each other's positions, and I think we will come to some good positions and good agreements in the future. Well, you know what's going to come out of all this? An end to the first past the post electoral system.
Do you think that's what, because
that will happen.
Do you think the next election will be a hung parliament, basically, and that the balance of power will by enough smaller parties, and that will force a referendum on?
Labour's doing so badly that...
Who's Muffin? Well, it's Muffin, M-O-T-H-I-N. Muffin Ali, he's a councillor from Leeds in Yorkshire, North England, who's a Green Party guy, and he sort of rose to prominence when there was some riots in his local area, and he went out and basically sort of stopped them. He did the job the police are supposed to do. He, as a member of the actual community with good community ties, went out and stopped people doing shit and put out fires, and he was fucking awesome. And then of course the right-wing media tried to smear him by taking pictures of that event of him helping and saying that he was part of the riot. Because, he's a brown man, and therefore they can tell their racist idiot audience that that's what was happening. Fucking... honestly. Drop me a call. How do I do that? Are you on the Discord? If you're on the Discord, you phone me and I'll answer. It's the Morton. Because I don't know what else to do. But if you've got explaining to do, by all means. What the fuck?
They're going to need PR, as are the other parties. So
That's
I think
proportional representation, not public relations.
We'll get some form of proportional representation. The one I would favour would be a constituency system with an added list.
STV? Is that STV?
Yeah, you could do STV on a constituency basis, or you could do the current system on a constituency basis and then have a party add-on. But that, of course, reduces the role of completely independent independence, if you know what I mean. So this got to be worked out, but I do think some form of proportional representation will come. It is absurd that we have a government with the biggest majority ever on the basis of less votes than we got when I led the Labour Party in 2019. And
oh, the Zionist from earlier was doing a joke. Oh, okay. I mean, that was a very oblique reference. this was apparently that was the thing I read out for everyone. It's Jordan Peterson saying Hamas will never win over the righteous keepers of the West. Up yours, scum. In response to Alma. Oh God. Oh, fucking knob. Honestly, go back to looking at your weird Chinese milking porn, you freak. Unbelievable.
And several million less than we got in the 2017 election. Yeah. And that was the loveless landslide that Labour is now occupying all those seats in Parliament with.
2/3 of seats with 1/3 of the vote.
Yeah.
Very finally, if people haven't signed up yet, people are, you've already got 600,000, but there's loads of people out there who are disillusioned, they're pissed off, but maybe they're not convinced yet. Maybe they're not sold. Maybe they're not really joiners. You know what I mean? What would you say to them?
Listen out to what we're saying, listen out to what we're doing, see us in the community, see us working together, and see us being a genuine, welcoming, open house to people to come along, put your ideas forward. We're going to be, yes.
Oh, okay, you're in the actual fucking thing. 1 second.
Hey, yo, my lovelies. Can you all hear me?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hopefully I've got that sorted properly.
Hello.
Hey, yo, hi, Kev. You're right, my gorgeous.
You're eight, man. How are you?
Half left, mate, half left.
Yes. Firstly, what's this nonsense about the party leaders know me? They don't know me.
Oh, no, quite literally. So every single time I've gone to conference, I've introduced myself as Kev, and they thought that I was you rather than because I'm also Kevin, by the way. That's also my name.
Okay, well, again, the gauntlet's been thrown down. Get Zach on the show.
They thought I was you, and I got banned. Oh no, and they thought again it was you. So no, they all do know you, and all of them do like you. I'm sure of it. Especially Zach. Zach finds you especially hilarious. So tell about the joke. It was generally the thing that he would tell about me.
Okay, bud.
So no, Zach, very much on your side. Other leadership team, Ellie is lovely. Adrian, everyone forgets about. That's fine. But no. So there was it's quite a weird assault on the Greens over the last few days.
Okay, so you took issue with the representation of Miss Chowns.
Not just Miss Chowns, but like how people talked about Muffin as Muffin. How whatever you'd like to pronounce his name, it's fine. My text-to-speech calls him Muffin all the time, and I talk to Muffin all the time and call him Muffin. He does not mind how you pronounce his name, as long as you pronounce it with respect. So there was quite a weird assault that happened on Twitter. That happened from a very, very turfy group. And effectively saying that Muffin did not support trans rights, did not support trans people, even though he had explicitly said all of these things out loud. I will stand with trans people. They are a minority. Like me, a visible minority. Like me. And because he didn't agree to all of the pledges from all the groups, he decided at his start of his campaign he won't do the pledges thing, because that's the thing he didn't want to like. He did not want to do. They decided, let's just assault the Muslim. This then resulted in a lot of flack from people that were, why haven't you accepted all of these pledges, blah, blah, blah. Why haven't you done, agreed to them, and it was, well, for the most part because he was at work or whilst everyone else was disagreeing. So there was quite a bit of tension.
Okay, well, I agree that's bad, and a muffin's fucking awesome. But you said that the Ellie Jones thing was silly?
No, even the Ellie Chowns thing, that's not realistically what she said. It's it's the proportion of what she said. It's like that we should take when considering sport, we should think about these things, but at a 1-to-1 level, the same as Zach Polanski. Like these are again that we should do because there are multiple things that engage when we engage in sport that engage upon fairness. Have you gone through male puberty? Have you done this? Have you done that? These things do matter. However, all of them have constantly agreed on exactly the same platform, which is yes, no, we agree all women are women and all men are men. And what you say you are and self-identification is the cornerstone of that point.
Okay, but she's definitely made comments that seem, at the very least, vaguely supportive of the Supreme Court's decision, which I think would be pretty worrying to a lot of trans people looking at that.
I agree that you should be always worried, whatever the law says. But the law is again the things that lawmakers do. This is why we elect people to change the law. However, I don't think that from Green Party, literal Green Party manifesto commitments and the change of what trans people want right now as changes in the law, I do not think those are remotely different things.
Right. Okay.
And I just.
But you can understand surely that both trans people and their allies and friends, acolytes, comrades, would be concerned at that kind of talking point from people like Ellie Jones, who's on a ticket with Adrian Ramsey, who literally refuses to say trans women are women or trans men are men.
Mate, Adrian Ramsey refuses to say a friend is a fucking friend. It's annoying as shit. The guy is literally the most annoying green I've ever had to work with in my life. Jesus fucking Christ, even if he agrees with something, he disagrees with it. Yeah. However, no. I do agree with trans people that, no, we should be always aware that, these issues fucking happen. But I think we should be at a 4 and work constantly at a 12. If that makes sense.
Okay. I don't know that you really answered the point, but I mean, fair enough. Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to reiterate the point I think I made, although I was being a bit playful with it. But I think in the statement she made, I think it is reasonable to infer that she thinks it's okay to legally discriminate against trans people, and that I can't be on board with. I think, even if it's not coming from necessarily a place of hatred, fundamentally it's the turf position, and I'm not okay with that,
Yeah, I'm not gonna fucking disagree with you. I do think that especially minority groups should be goddamn aware that of leaders' positions, and I think that yourself, just like big old fucking white lads, should be fucking aware and should stick up and say those things out loud. Make sure that we are fucking iterating it. But I don't think Ellie is in the same ballpark as, like, you know, in Natalie, what's the name, and those Jenny fucking weirdos.
No, I don't know. I don't think she's like actively, like, she's not J.K. Rowling or anything, but she's unfortunately far too close to that for me to be comfortable with, I think.
Yeah, but I do feel that, again, that we were thinking, like, of her as a, like, you know, a whole 11 straight away. No, this is a threat, rather than this is an ally that just needs to have, yo, mate, we need to have a fucking word, you know?
Okay, well, like I say, I don't know how much of an ally that person is, and I don't want to fall out with you on this, just so we'll sort of leave it after this. But I will just say, I don't know how much of an ally she can really be considered when she's on the ticket with the person who refuses to even just say the basic. I'm not even asking him to pledge to sign a law or anything like that. Just, or pass a law, I suppose. But he won't even just say the basic that these people are what they say they are and are valid in that identity. That's not difficult. It doesn't cost you anything.
I mean, I will argue that she says that yes, you know, trans women are women. And,
no, she does. No, to be fair, she does do that, but he doesn't.
And she does that quite. Yeah, he doesn't. And like, mate, I'm not going to disagree with you on your second point, because I agree with you. How just what's his name again?
Adrian Ramsey.
That's the fucking fella. That twat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bell.
I agree, yeah. And if it was Zach versus Ellie, I think this leadership round would have gone very differently.
Probably.
I just don't think that. Oh, what's his fucking name again?
Adrian Ramsey.
Fucking that's the twat, right? Like, I just it's basically injecting a U straight into you know, No J's like stream. It's like yo, no, I'm great, but like this is just weird. We can do something, and it's fun and great, and I'm sure that everyone loves it. Like, it's just like, no.
Okay.
I'm here for hot people.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll leave...
Right, anyway, no, you're gorgeous. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on, It's Immortal.
I wanted to clarify
bit of Mom. Absolutely no problem at all. Give my love to my biggest fan, Zach Polanski. Next time you have
no. He's Jack Muller is your biggest fan. And,
well, that is true. Yeah. True.
True. All your biggest. I love you all. Yeah. Every last one is gorgeous. Don't let Kev fucking tell you otherwise. All right.
Okay.
Bastards. See you later.
See you later, man. Take care. Bye bye. How do I end the thing? Disconnect? Yeah, there you go. Well, that was It's the Morton, a delightful northerner. Anyway, thank you 8DX man for gifting 5 memberships on the YouTube. Much love. No, on 5 memberships on twitch.tv/KFlogan1875. Yeah, I will happily suck your penis. And oh my sweet Jesus, thank you It's the Morton for gifting 10 subs. That is far too generous, sir. Far too generous. But I will happily suck your dick as well. I'll just take all the dicks. Meet me at the fuck tree. Actually, how inefficient would that be? For me to drive from Birmingham down to London and you to drive from Yorkshire or wherever down to London when we could just meet in the middle in, like, I don't know, Derby or something.
Big, obviously. But
it's like when fucking Man United and Liverpool have to meet up at Wembley. What the fuck is... What?
We're also going to be the party of creativity, music, culture, art, as well as economics that works for the people, not works against the people.
Jeremy, in 10 years, maybe we'll do the interview here, see how it's all panned out.
You're in Burton. Oh, not far then. Okay.
I know. Hopefully the world won't quite has gone to shit by then.
And you know what? I always think of Finsbury Park as the centre of my universe. And so we had a poetry evening at the community centre down the road last week. And
Of course he did. Of course he had a poetry meeting. Oh, God bless him. Honestly, it's so grotesque to see what happened. It's so fucking grotesque to see what happened to the guy. Because he's clearly like the nicest man ever. Who has poetry meetings in Finsbury Park on a Tuesday afternoon or whatever. Like, that's the kind of guy he is. He makes his own fucking jam. And likes poetry. And, you know, and they made him out to be literally fucking Hitler. It's disgusting, man. Holy fuck. We're in Burton, Kev. Oh, do you... Hang on. So does Jack Miller... The Jack Miller... Do you know it's the Morton? Are you IRL friends or whatever? I know Burton's not like that small that there are 4 people or something, but like, do you know each other?
My poem, Summer in Finsbury Park.
Well, check that out. It is a beautiful place to spend summer.
Yeah, fucking... where was it? Did I... Hang on. Did I put it on my profile? Did I retweet it? I can't remember. No, hang on a minute. Was it in the bookmarks, possibly? There was a thing with... oh, fuck's sake, I can't find it now. Anyway, Carla Denyer. Did I put it... Was it in likes, maybe? Carla Denyer, like, just... with the whole sign thing. There we go. Boom. So, see, Carla Denyer has no problem standing full-throatedly with trans people. And that's beautiful. Yes, we're best buds. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, well, I've made a connection. He lives like 10 minutes away. Oh, that's fucking dope. I didn't know. I had no idea where the fuck either of you were from, if I'm honest with you. I assumed Yorkshire, but you were in Burton, which is in... Is that Staffordshire? Have I got that wrong? Anyway. Your head's in the way, Kev. I'll scroll down. You've seen the image, hang on. It says, thank you to all those who came to Westminster for Unite for Trans Rights, mass lobby. It was a powerful hearing from my trans constituents about their experiences with transphobia on the rise, and I'll keep standing up for the rights of trans people everywhere. There you go, you see? It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. Look at her. Tiny green queen. Because, you know, the thing is, right, it looks like she's stood next to them, but actually she's right up close to the camera lens, and they're all the way back in the distance, so it's the same sort of size, you see? She plays that perspective trick with a lot of people, because she's like a little borrower.
Cheers, Jimmy. Cheers, buddy.
Thanks, Owen.
What do you reckon, guys? You going to sign up? Have you signed up? Is this the big moment that a lot of people have been waiting for? I want to hear your thoughts, so just leave your comments, your ideas, really. I do read through your comments, including the slightly angrier, spikier ones. Love all of you, of course. But yeah, help us keep the show on the road and take on the pro-genocide media. Patreon.com/Owen84. As ever, you make all of this possible. Press like and subscribe. I think I've already said that. And also share the video. I'll speak to you in a bit.
Well, that was really cool, actually. Go and follow Owen Jones. He's a pretty swell chap. He's a little Twinkie boy. Look at him. Oh, I'd absolutely ruin him. He might be into it, I don't know. But I definitely would. And who could turn me down? Look at me. Fucking stunning. It's absolutely glorious. Half of the comments are thirst for sure. I would be very surprised if they weren't. I thought that was interesting, albeit some of it was lost in the hubbub about me playing videos of cats and things. But I thought that was actually good. I liked some of his explanations of kind of the general way in which the party's going to go, it sounds plausibly okay, right? It sounds potentially like it could go to a good place. But we'll wait and see. Because we're still, quite literally, watch this space, because all that exists at the moment is a space. It's now an online space with yourparty.uk or whatever on it, but it's just a space. It doesn't even have a name yet. Owen Jones must be 50 now, but looks like a kid. I think he's only just past 40, maybe 41. And he looks, he's fucking Benjamin Button. Fucking age, he doesn't age at all. He's just fucking, ugh, makes you sick. Anyway. I was going to watch something else after this, but we've been going fucking 3 hours or something. Nearly 3 hours on a 30-minute video. Fuck, man. Even by my standards, that's mental. How? How did that happen? Oh, yeah, because I'm a knob. With the attention span of a fucking squirrel. Who's going online? Oh, there's fucking nobody. Now there's fuck all. Hang on, there's this space. Yeah, okay, I'll send you over to this space. I think the leftist mafia are on there right now. Whatever. I'm 39. I look like Moo Deng. That's awesome. I'd love to look like Moo Deng. Cutest animal in the world. I'll be going live when I set up my VPN. Fair dues. Who's going on the Twitch now, though, that I can send people over to? Who is going? Zakap is going. Yeah, we'll send it. Yeah, everyone go over to Zakap. There they are. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow because it's not even midnight. I don't know what with. Maybe we'll watch something. Maybe we'll watch something a bit more sort of concentrated. Maybe. Kev, end the closed mic ASMR message. This one goes out just to Curtis. I love you. There you go. Yeah, do something. I'll do something a bit more. A bit better, frankly. Tomorrow. Maybe. Who knows? Thank you all for listening and watching. Free Palestine. No pass around.